What is up, bros? I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week we are joined by our official third host, DJ from the Untrained Eye.
Cross out the I am officially official. Victor. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Do you hear that, Crash? You hear that? I miss you, Vic. Please come back.
Yeah, I was seeing your messages on Instagram. Is Vic okay?
Yeah, he's good. He's just...
Okay.
He's been busy, and it's pissing me off, because he jacked up my Friday listening schedule.
Oh, so, okay,
well, listen,
so Crash and Taz have taken a break? Or are they just done? Oh.
My guess is it's done.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, me and Crash can get back again and redo your guys' your terrible recounting of the new Shazam movie, and we can put it where it rightfully belongs, over Black Adam.
Hey, I gave it a 75. Caleb's the one that gave it a higher score. I'm just saying.
Our personal... So, this is... Okay, here's my defense for all this. Our personal scores... For the Shazam movies, our personal score for Shazam was the highest, then Fury of the Gods, then Black Adam. But Black Adam just kind of did a little bit better when it came to the special effects.
Did it, though?
Are you shitting me? You're gonna look at me with a straight face and tell me that Shazam had better effects than Black Adam?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I've never even seen the movie. I just like making you mad.
Hey, me too.
You haven't seen Black Adam?
No, I saw. I haven't seen Shazam yet. New Shazam.
Oh.
So you've seen the first Shazam and Black Adam, though.
Okay, to be fair, I've seen some of original Shazam. It is a snooze fest. And Black Adam was whatever. It's fine. It's all colored differently now because The Rock sucks. So I don't know what to think anymore. Everything is upside down because The Rock, again, I've loved The Rock since I was a child. And the fact that he is being a supreme douchebag about all of this makes me sad, and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, his ego is showing a lot these days.
Well, oopsie doopsie, James Gunn came in there and squished it. So ego death time for The Rock, hopefully. Anyway, Vic, come on, let's do this. Let's do this right. We're gonna put Fury of the Gods where it belongs.
Yeah, I have him like somewhat committed to doing an episode with us after the Super Mario Bros. the new one, the new animated one. But yeah, so I have him committed to doing something after that. So hopefully that reignites the fire for podcasting.
I mean, listen, it gets hard out in them streets, them podcasting streets sometimes. Like, kudos to you guys for staying consistent and strong. Because, like, even the show that I do, the Untrained Eye, like, it's been like by the time this episode comes out, it will officially have been 4 months since we've released an episode. And I mean, you can see me, the people can't. Like, I'm in the studio right now. Like, the studio exists, the equipment's there. Like, we want to do it. It's just, sometimes life just gets too hard in the way. And I don't know. I feel for Vic, because I get it. I'm on that boat there with him right now. Like, I want to do it. Well, I assume he wants to do it again so bad. I know I do. Like, I don't know. That's why I like being your guys' third hosts, because I can get my fix in.
Well, we love having you on, and we would love to have Vic on again, and we will. I'll freaking make sure of it.
Damn. Sounds like a threat.
It is a threat.
Vic, do it.
If he doesn't think that I'm above flying to California just to kick his ass a little bit, like,
I would pay all the money to see you try and do that. I have a feeling that Vic would wrap you up in a way that you had never imagined before.
As true as that may be, I don't have a quitter spirit.
It's true. He does not.
Dude, like straight up, like there were times that I was getting like choked out by like my brothers, or just like I took like jujitsu for a little bit, and like they were like choking me out. I was turning blue, and someone had to intervene and be like, "Yeah, he's done."
You're killing him.
Yeah, and so like I remember my dad and I were just wrestling for fun, and like he had my arm like locked, and he's just like you're done, and I'm just like, want to bet?
Oh my
God!
Like,
break it, you won't,
dude. How old were you? How old were you, Caleb?
Probably like 14, 15.
Hey man, good news. You were right on schedule. I love my nephew, but god dang, dude, when he gets in the freaking let's wrestle mode, he's that guy. Like, I'm beating him literally to death, and he's like, no, I can still do it. I'm like, you don't have any arms. I took them both from you. He's like, nope, just let me stand up. I'll hit you with my head. I'll just run at you as hard as I can. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love you weirdos and your freaking... Why? Don't do this. Don't die. We love you.
Dude, have you ever seen Here Comes the Boom with
no.
Kevin James? So he has this move, like, it's the same situation. He gets put into like in an impossible arm bar, and he just grabs his hand, lifts the dude up, and just slams him on the ground. I was trying to pull that shit with my dad.
That's
I'm like,
so good.
Like, you'll never break me.
Oh my god.
Pop!
Yeah, and even if I was being like disrespectful, like he like wrestle with me, and he's like, say sorry, and I'm like, I'd rather die.
That's it. That's my nephew. I'm like, have you had enough? Like, he'll be screaming. I'm like, have you had enough? No. And I'll just pull his arm a little more. Are you sure? No. I'm like, say you've had enough. No. I'm like, I'm going to break your arm, buddy. I'll do it. I got a car. I can take you to the hospital. No. All right. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. Go to bed, fool.
Man, just the unbridled confidence I had way back when.
It's impressive. I'll give it that. It is very impressive.
So anyway, getting into what we're discussing this week, we do not have anything in 4K Spotlight, and not really anything to discuss with Through the Wall this week. So it's another pretty slow news week.
Wait, Through the Wall, that's where you talk about trailers and stuff, right?
Trailers, news, and yeah.
So the folks at home might like to know that before we started recording, you two let me know that the new Indiana Jones flick is called Indiana Jones and the Park Bench of Doom or something like that. Like,
way better title.
The Dial of Doom? What'd you say it's called?
Dial of Destiny.
Dial of Destiny. Hey, man, you're done. Harrison, it's done. You're finished. Pierce the other ear and go home.
But hasn't he like come out and said that he enjoys playing Indiana Jones way more than Han Solo? So like he actually like kind of cared to come back for this fifth one?
Get the hell out of my face. This guy loves paychecks is what he loves. He loves them sweet paychecks. Wrong. And he's listen, that's all I had to say. The frickin' Dial of Doom and get the hell out of my face with all that noise. Unless they bring back Shia LaBeouf, then they have no balls at all, and I don't want to hear anything else about it.
No, I only want to see Short Round come back. Come on. Kehu Kwan is
already... Dude, that would be the shit.
He's already on a freaking like amazing journey right now, coming back to acting. That would just be the cherry on top, and I would love that so much.
Can I just tell you, I would rather... No, I don't want him to lower down to be in a subpar Indiana Jones movie. It's not fair. It's not right. He's on top of the world, and Harrison Ford is digging his own grave. Like, go die, sir, respectfully, die, and let this man have his moment in the sun. do not film some pickups with Short Round where you hug and you embrace and you're like, we dialed it up to 11 one more time, Short Round. And he's like, you got it, Dr. Jones. And they go off in their taxi or whatever. No.
Come on, that's a perfect end credit scene.
That needs to be the after credit scene.
There we go. Yeah.
Dude, if there was anyone in the world that I was super worried about joining the MCU, it was frickin' Harrison Ford.
Because he barely cares. He's like, hey, everyone, it's me. I'm here to be a guy. Am I a Hulk? Am I a general? Am I a president? I don't know.
That's what I'm worried about. I don't know if Harrison Ford is going to be good enough to play a frickin' Hulk.
Okay, maybe I'm the only one that doesn't think his acting's that bad yet.
No, it's not that. It's just, it doesn't feel like he gives a shit.
That's it. I mean, listen, you can only do so many movies where a man is pretending to be a dog, and you have to take it seriously before you got to wonder what you're doing with your life. And I think that's where Harrison Ford is at.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just friggin' decisions are going around.
You know what? You guys talk me into it. I'm going to be there opening night now.
Listen, if you guys are going to torture yourselves like that, I'll do it too. So don't tempt me with a terrible time. By the way, speaking of terrible times, Caleb, listen to me.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Do you know how on the last episode you were like, there's this guy, he kept getting up and he was walking out of the movie theater and walking back in and walking out. Do you know what he was doing? He was being considerate. Guy who was like, I just got to check and see if the sitter called. Go outside. We can all see it. Everyone can see your phone.
Okay, no, they can't. We were in the back row.
I almost killed a man when we were watching Ant-Man Quantumania because this son of a bitch thought that he was being sneaky. And he's like, ooh, I just checked my text. And I'm like, hey, guy, I just leaned forward and I go, hey, as loud as I could at the quietest part. Hey, guy, are you for real right now? And he, to his credit, he didn't even budge. That guy was like, F you, stupid. I got a text to text. And I was this close to dumping the rest of my popcorn on this dude's head. I was so furious. Hey, don't check your phone in the theater. Tell your wife to not check her phone and just leave. Just go and come back. Just go and come back.
Okay. She wasn't like sitting there like texting or anything. She just like checked her notification to make sure it wasn't from the sitter and then put it away. It was seriously like 2 seconds.
Okay, listen to me. What you said was that she took out her cell phone and was like, this movie's terrible. Let's see what the next movie could be.
Oh,
that's what you said.
Okay, I thought you were specifically referring when she checked her phone for the sitter. Yeah, that pissed me off too. So you are not the only one.
You people are craziness. You're getting defensive because you know you're wrong. And when I become president, I'm going to outlaw you people from going outside, let alone to movies. You're not allowed anymore. Listen, all you're saying is you don't trust your sitter. That's it. You're saying you don't trust this person. Take the phone, power button, off. Put it in your pocket. Enjoy your movie. Do you know what I think of when I turn my phone off and our nephews aren't with us? Hope they don't die. I'm not going to know. I'm not going to know for an hour and 25 minutes. See you guys at the funeral.
Yeah, we're not quite in that mindset yet. Maybe as she gets older, we will. But yeah. Listen, I'm not saying that the person that watches your kid listens to this show, but if you are listening to this show, babysitter, know that the Caleb and his wife absolutely do not trust you to keep their child alive. I just want you to know that because I'm sure you might be related. That is not the least bit true, and I don't know if she does listen to this.
Better pray she doesn't,
dude. Okay, so Brielle told me the most mortifying thing that I've ever heard. 'cause it was like right after we got done recording whatever we did after Glass Onion. Let me go back to real quick. Okay, it was while we were doing Matilda. We'd finished like recording. I walked into my room. She asked how it went. I'm like, good. And for whatever reason, she decided to say, "Oh, I won't say her name," but she says, "Oh, she listened to your show," and I was like, which one?" Just praying that it wasn't Glass Onion.
Why not, Caleb? Explain in detail.
Because I had to explain to Rose what freaking balls were.
What is that? I do not know. Please explain further.
I'm not explaining it again. But
I hear that, everyone.
That.
He does not want to give the people what they want. But go ahead. I'm a guest in your house, but you don't want to explain anything to me. I get it.
Anyway, I was just praying that it wasn't that one, and she's just like, "Oh, it was that new detective movie," and I'm like, "Oh shit, Glass Onion," and she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Damn it." And apparently she was talking about it with some people at church, and I'm just like, I can never go back to church.
Yes. Oh my God.
Well, I think Caleb just became ex-Mormon, so, you know.
I am going to move to Atlanta now, and I'm going to make friends with all these people and be like, "Did you guys listen to the last All Brothers podcast? Oh, yeah." Too hot for the internet.
But dude, I was just red-faced and just so freaking embarrassed. Anytime someone's like says that they listen to my show, unless they're like podcast people, like I get so freaking embarrassed.
Dude,
and not
same thing happens to me with coworkers.
Yeah, and it's not because I'm embarrassed of the show. Like, I'm super proud of the show. It's just, if you're not a podcaster, I don't want to hear your opinions on my show.
That, and listen, you guys at least have like a vehicle for conversation and discussion. Like, the two shows that I do just welcome people to go, "Actually, you're wrong about everything you said and thought." And I'm like, cool. Neat. Those were my personal thoughts that I put on the internet. Glad that you felt that way about it. It's my fault for doing that, but also thank you for telling me your personal thoughts on mine. I'm going to go throw myself off the Skyway now. Goodbye.
Dude, I don't, like, even with a show like this, I don't think people understand how vulnerable, like, in a position this puts you. Like, doing any sort of show, podcast whatsoever, it's like my baby. And anyone, like, it's people who like shit on it, I want to just rip apart. And then people that are like, "Oh, I listen," I'm like, "Nah."
Like, just don't tell me. I tell people, I'm like, just don't tell me. Like, some of the guys I have, like, I do role playing on the weekends, role playing games, not like. Anyway, whatever. Take that however you want.
Okay, yeah.
Listen, take it however you want.
Yeah, keep going, DJ.
It's me and a bunch of dudes. We love role playing on the weekends. Anyway, listen.
That made it even worse.
Listen, what could be worse than a bunch of dudes just hanging out and role playing? Back in January, we all met up in a cabin in North Carolina. It was fine. Get to role play in person. It's great. We really did do that, by the way. It was very funny to tell my boss that, because I was like, "Hey, I'm going to take a couple days off in January." And he was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Where are you going to go?" And I was like, North Carolina to Black Mountain. He's like, "Oh, Black Mountain." He's like, what are you going to do out there? And I was like, I thought about lying. And then I was like, I'm going to meet a bunch of dudes from the internet and we're going to do role-playing games. And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, that's what we're gonna do."
So, DJ, this is how you're coming out to me. That's cool. That's really cool.
Dude,
this is the show to do it, guys. I'm a role player.
Bye, gay. I see you the same way.
If you don't accept me, that's role playism. I don't even know why I was telling you this story, but I'm glad it went here.
Same here.
Why the hell was I telling you this story? There was something about the people.
Because we were talking about people that are podcasters versus not podcasters listening to our show.
So it's come up because, you know, the guys that it's all on the internet, and they see this and they see the mic and they're like, the hell are you? What are you you have a radio show or something? I'm like, nah, I do a podcast. They're like, oh, what's it called? I'm like, I don't remember. One of the guys, he did get it out of me, and he was like, I'm going to listen. And I was like, don't ever tell me about it if you do. I don't want to know. He's like, what, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, please never tell me that you listen to it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything good, bad, or otherwise, because then I have to think about it every time I'm like, actually, I'm from the planet Zargog, and I'm going to roll a D20 now. And you're going to be like, you're stupid on so many levels. That's all you're going to be thinking.
Dude, I had a coworker of mine, I was cutting our logo out on our laser machine at work for like...
Do you see? Right there.
Oh, yours?
Yes.
It's like, it's barely cut off. I thought you were pointing at Rose. I'm like, what?
I'm like, what'd I do?
It's like,
sorry,
it's like cut off like right at where that sign is.
Hey.
Yeah, so I was cutting our logo out for something I was making for me and Rose, and someone came up to request something to be cut that was like actually work related.
What is this?
Yeah, and like they came up, I was like in my own world, just like not paying attention, just waiting for this little thing to finish up, and it's not like it took forever. It only took like 3-4 minutes to cut, and so I was just waiting for it to finish, and I hear this dude go, "What's the All Bros?" And I'm like, "Oh."
Somebody, it's a personal project for the boss. I don't know. He's dumb. Anyway, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, dude, I freaking lied. I was just like, it's a podcast I listen to.
It's a paintball crew I'm a part of. We like paintball. We're all bros.
Dude, I'm gonna laugh my ass off if he actually like goes and listens to it. He's just like, dude, you're not gonna believe this. One of these guys sounds exactly like you. It's tripping me out, man.
His name's Caleb and everything.
Luckily, the dude's he quit like shortly after that whole deal, and I haven't seen him since. So I think I'm good.
So you should be in the clear.
Yeah, I mean, if he listens now, like, fine, whatever. But it's only because I don't have any interaction with him.
Are either of you like real life friends with people at work? Like, do you have like real friends at work?
No.
Yes, actually. Oh, I
really?
do.
Wait. Is it JC, a guy who every time you mention him, I really believe you're talking about Jesus Christ?
Yes. So I have a couple guy friends at work, JC included, and then a couple gal friends as well. I've actually hung out with them outside of work. So
you, Jonathan Rose, are a good person because my work coworkers are work coworkers. Like, I couldn't imagine if they were like, hey, let's go get a beer after work. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I have to run into a fire. I can't do that. I have to set this orphanage on fire so I can run into it and save all the orphans. Bye.
Dude, I'm the same way. Like, I won't even go out to lunch with my coworkers.
I don't know. Like, when you work in the same place for almost 9 years, you kind of have to somewhat get good relationships with, and you kind of want to do stuff with them outside of work. Okay, maybe it's just me.
I've worked at I've worked at my spot for over 10 years, and I got to tell you, anytime anybody starts to be like, hey, can I call you later? I'm like, I just remembered I got to do anything. Bye. See ya.
Anything but that.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like, there's this lady I work with that she keeps trying to have like a weekend shift party at her house because she has a pool, and I'm like, I couldn't imagine a single thing I would want to do less.
Because they're like, hey, let's hang out, but let's hang out with less clothes. Because you know what's really cool about people you work with is knowing what they look like more naked. That's what's pretty cool.
I'll tell you what's really hard, though, when you're hanging out with coworkers and outside of work, and you're trying to develop like a friendship with them, but the only thing that you can really talk about is freaking work. You're just like, okay, let's get to know each other a little more.
Here's
then you're just like, oh my God, did you hear about Barbara last week? Oh yeah, what a bitch.
All right, listen, everybody loves some good hot gossip, okay? If you aren't into the good hot goss, then what are you even doing? Why even bother talking to them at all, inside or outside of work? I want to know that Barbara's a bitch. Tell me all about it. What sucks is when you are like, either the person in charge or hanging out with the person in charge, because it inevitably gets weird. Because if you're the one in charge, someone eventually is going to do that thing that makes you go, why? And they're going to go, come on, man, I thought we were cool while you're at work. I thought we were cool. Why would you do this to me? You're like,
that's why I don't hang out with like my employees that are below me, I guess.
It sucks, but like...
Well, that sucks because you're the manager. Aren't you?
Yeah, so like I'll only it sounds like so effed up. Like I guess like when it comes to like people outside of work, I only hang out with, JC, who is my assistant, or like my buddy Ryan, who is at the same level as me. He's also a department head.
You have to do that. You have to, because if you don't, then again, it always gets weird. It's like it never doesn't get weird. That's right. Mm-hmm. Triple negatives, maybe. Never doesn't get weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, Super Mario.
About this. Anyway, Super Mario Bros.
Do you also hate your coworkers? The Super Mario Brothers can help.
Well, I never said anything like that. I love my coworkers.
Don't wink like that. Stop winking so much, Rose.
Smart ass.
He won't stop winking.
So can he go back to the unofficial third host?
I mean, it still technically says unofficial.
Oh shit, I didn't notice that.
I do have a Sharpie somewhere. I was going to cross that out for this, but...
Damn, you should have. Or at least just get like a piece of tape. Just put it...
we'll get you guys some new ones.
Sorry for not movie talk. This is work talk. Sorry.
No, that's fine. So yeah, like I said, we didn't have anything to talk about anyway. So, let's say we get into this breakdown.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Crash, host of the podcast Crash and Taz's Movie Cellar. On our show, me and my co-host pick a new movie each week and rate each movie on a few categories that we think are important to making a great movie. After we rate the movie, it gets a final rating, and that lands it somewhere on our cellar scale, where it will get labeled as either a well, premium, or a top shelf film. Catch us on platforms like Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, and more. And don't forget to follow us on social media. On Instagram as Crash and Taz's Movie Cellar. It's Crash, the letter N, Taz Movie Cellar, with underscores in between each word. And on Facebook, Crash and Taz Movie Cellar, where you as a listener can suggest movies for us to rate, and also give us some constructive criticism to make the show more entertaining. Overall, don't forget to follow or subscribe, and rate and review us, and get ready for an entertaining show with us. See you guys then.
Yeah,
hello.
So he's now at _nerd_crash. If you guys want to go follow him now.
Listen, if he needs a new co-host, I say I volunteer Caleb or Rose. How about that?
I don't think it's that anymore. Like I because he's had some people like offer, be like, "Hey, we should do a show," and he's just saying that he just doesn't have the time to do it.
I feel it. Oh my God, Vic, if you're listening to this, I feel you so hard. But come back, Vic. Don't stay away too long.
Yeah, that's why I continue to play his promo. I'm just manifesting their return.
Let me tell you, there is one promo who I won't say, but you play this one promo of a show that has not existed in, I'm pretty sure, close to a year.
Oh, man, is it?
I'm
mixed
not saying
media?
any. I don't know what
media.
you're talking about.
Like I only have 4.
I should make one eventually. I'll just cut one right now. Listen to the Untrained Eye. It's everywhere. Listen to it. If we get 100 downloads on the last episode, we'll finally release another one. Listen to it today.
Dude, every time I freaking hit up your network friends, like, they're just like, oh yeah, we'll send you one, and I don't hear back shit all.
Listen, how dare you, first of all.
Well,
the
no one
Angry
responds
Dad.
to that Twitter. Oh, that's true. Ben has one, but Ben sent me his directly. Like, I didn't ask him. I did ask him. I was just like, after we started chatting. It wasn't because I sent him or sent a request into the Inner Circle Twitter messaging, which is completely dead.
Yeah, Twitter is a freaking ghost town for me anyway. Like, I go there every once in a while to be like, hey everybody, I'm gonna like 5 of Elon Musk's tweets, and goodbye, I'm out of here.
Damn. So I've been asking. Like, eventually I'm just gonna go steal some and like make my own.
Listen, we'll make one, but like, here's the thing. Like, unless you are, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Ben Bowman is he's the GOAT at doing any kind of promotion. And I don't know how everything just sounds to me when I'm doing it like this. Hey, we do a thing. You wanna listen? Wanna come over? Wanna hang out at our house for a little while? Maybe about an hour and a half. Wanna do that? Wanna listen? We got a little show. We'd like you to hear it. Come on. It's the Untrained Eye or Dragging the Table.
Okay, the way that DJ did that, please tell me you guys have seen that TikTok with like the spushed in Michael Myers face mask at like Spirit Halloween, and like the lady like puts the camera on and she just does the voice, hey guys, want to go scary?
No, but that sounds hilarious. Hey guys.
Dude, I'm gonna take that clip of what you just said, and I'm turning that into the Untrained Eye promo.
Yes.
We're gonna get negative downloads, but okay.
What are you talking about? You guys are going nothing but up.
People are going to figure out how to take away their listens. They're like, going to just go back to the end and just click reverse on the whole thing.
Dude, that's
they're
going to be my
trending in the wrong direction.
Anyway.
Yes.
Getting into this breakdown. But first, so we have a question of the week that we posted. And so we asked, in regards to the Super Mario Bros. From 1993, what other Nintendo property would you have liked to see a live-action 90s movie about? And we did get a few responses. So first, over on Instagram, we have one from a George Marshall Quaben-Bowery.
Got it in one,
I think. And funny enough, his answer is almost exactly what I said after me and Rose watched this on Sunday. He says the only thing that I want is Super Mario Bros. 2 Luigi's Mansion. Yes.
That would be fantastic.
And he says yes, starring John Leguizamo and as much of the original cast as they can wrangle. Samantha Mathis is badass union leader now. Fisher Stephen is on Succession. Fiona Shaw is Andor's mom. Well, she's dead, so.
I was going to say, and Mario's going to be a little late to the party, too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And then he said that 1993 movie didn't miss the mark. It invented the Easter egg and was 30 years ahead of its time. I've been posting this sentiment on every piece of Mario advertising I've been able to since October of last year. I made a patch. I wrote an op-ed. It hasn't been picked up. I've been tweeting at politicians. A post-internet, post-Y2K, post-9/11, post-Trump, post-COVID world deserves the sequel we were promised all those years ago.
All right. Whoa. Wow. What is this man's at again? Because is he the one with the impossible at where he's like Quinginald or something at the end?
On Instagram?
Yeah, whoever just said that mouthful.
Yeah, so he's the only one that responded to us on Instagram.
Go ahead. What was his at one more time?
It was George Marshall Quabbin Bowery.
All right, you're going to have to send me that because I need to do some more digging into this freaking Unabomber. What do you mean? God, that's amazing. I love it, but also, sir, go outside for just like 10 minutes.
Yeah, he says this movie has aged way better than a fine wine. Executives are cowards.
Oh my God. Relax, guy. You're ruining it. Don't oversell this, sir. George.
Dude, if you look at his feed, it is nothing but Super Mario
ramblings
stuff.
of a crazy person. Oh, what?
Yeah, so he has patches made. He actually asked if we wanted one. He would send us some.
Wait,
which I
really?
might. Yeah, so he has a patch.
Don't give him your home address. Don't give him your home address.
So yeah, he has. It's let's see. It looks like 2, and he says Super Mario Bros. 2, Luigi's Mansion, starring John Leguizamo or nothing. He has another one that says Nothing's Impossible Mario, improbable, unlikely, but never impossible. Luigi Mario, as portrayed by John Leguizamo, Super Mario Bros. 1993.
All right, I take it back. I'm looking at his. I mean, we didn't need the picture of your girlfriend's butt, sir. Let's see. I'm looking at his page right now. I take it back, sir. Whatever you're doing out there, keep doing it. Got a great meme. This is Toad as Goomba. I didn't do this. Nintendo did this. Can't undo it. And that's a like from the Untrained Eye page. Yo, this dude's crazy, and I love it.
All right, and then moving on over to good old TikTok. We only have a couple that actually like answer the question.
Oh, the rest is movie recommendations?
Yeah.
Shocker.
So going through the recommendations real quick from Shane Ackers 9. He said day 4 of asking you to review the movie 9.
Okay, I gotta rewatch that movie.
Yeah, then we have one from a guy named Paul. It's like random numbers and shit for his at. He says day 1 of asking for Alita Battle Angel. Then the Thunder God 2010 says you can do Riddick. It's part of the Pitch Black series on Netflix. He's
not wrong.
Yeah, he's been asking us to do Pitch Black a lot.
Listen, the Pitch Black, the Chronicles of Riddick, all those movies, underrated. Like they're not. They don't get a fair shake. I don't think they're better movies than they are given credit for. Listen, now that The Rock is out, I need a bald hero, and Vin Diesel is there, just waiting. He's been waiting this whole time. He's just looking. I am Groot. I've been waiting here for you. I am Groot. I knew you'd be back. God. They always come back. They love the diesel. And he breakdances away. Bye.
All right. Let's see. We got one from a Krusty Collier. Who said, can you do 21 Jump Street? It's probably my favorite movie of all time. And I told him we actually have done that one before. And then the 2 that actually have some relation to what our question was, I already said what our question was. Anyway, we have one from an Angelo, who said, "To be honest, a Star Fox movie would have been cool."
I would have loved to have seen a 90s Star Fox movie. That would have been wild.
I told him that we kind of imagined that would have been like a Howard the Duck meets Galaxy Quest.
I kind of imagine it to be like a what was it? Team America, World Police.
Oh
like,
my
God. I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, and then a Reaper J3 said Advent Children, which, with some research, that is a Final Fantasy game. A spin-off game.
Who suggested this?
Reaper J3.
Hey, Reaper J3, relax. We get it. You play video games, nerd. What was?
Damn.
I'm gonna pick the obscure Japanese-only version of the game too. You can't use the American one. That one's stupid. Reaper, I love you. I'm sorry, I had to do it. I didn't hear that stupid Brucker guy this time, so I got to take out my aggression on somebody.
So that is all the responses we got for that. So what would have been your answer for?
Well, I want to know, do you guys have an answer? Like, because you guys never answer the questions. Like, what would you guys like to see as a 90s Nintendo movie? Because I had one that I thought, I'll let you think, and I'll say that initially I wanted to see what 90s Metroid would have looked like. And I think that would have just been awesome at the time, but aged poorly. What I would like to see that would have been awful at the time and then aged poorly is a Donkey Kong movie with a real gorilla. Or an animatronic, terrible 90s gorilla, whatever you want. Like, I think the Donkey Kong movie is that is a perfect 90s movie.
That would have been interesting. It would have had like that Planet of the Apes vibe to it.
Who knows what the hell it would have been? Look at what we got with Super Mario Brothers. What could they possibly have done to Donkey Kong? Like,
what are you thinking, Rose?
Just because I gotta make sure that this okay, like this is like barely on the nose. Actually, I don't know. No, it couldn't work then. Never mind.
Ask Reaper. He probably knows if it's a real video game or not.
Well, no, because if I wanted this to happen, it couldn't come out until like the early 2000s. But like, have you guys seen the original? Was it for? God damn it! I'm really already effing this up. I can't remember if it was for Super Smash Bros. 64 or for Super Smash Bros. Melee. But the teaser trailer that they did, where like there's a bunch of Nintendo characters in costume just like holding hands strolling down a meadow, and all of a sudden freaking Mario just kicks Yoshi and he goes down, and then they all just start fighting each other.
That was the commercial. Yes, you're exactly right.
I want a movie that's exactly like that. Same costumes, everything. But...
You know, I heard, like, I know this isn't true because it's too good to be true, that if this movie does well, somebody made like a mock-up of like how they should release other Nintendo characters like as movies, and they're like, and then at the end in like 2028, because they had like the Marvel, phase lineup for Nintendo, and at the end everything ended with Super Smash Bros. The movie, where they all come together and they all fight each other, and I'm like, dude, I mean, that'll never happen, but if it did, that would be the greatest day of my life.
That would be amazing.
That'd be pretty great. The reason I saw that, or I think you sent that one to me, but the reason he was like coming up with that is because there's a Donkey Kong movie that was confirmed.
Oh man, that was a while ago.
Been a Luigi's Mansion confirmed.
Listen, I told. Just to start to get into the movie a little bit, I watched this movie with my nephews, and I told them at the end, I was like, if this new Super Mario Brothers movie does not have Daisy at some point roll in there and go, Mario, Luigi, you're never going to believe it. I need you to come back to the kingdom. Then I'm going to storm out and ask for my money back.
Oh my God.
Dude, they better have some crazy callbacks to this version.
I mean, the van in the new movie that they drive, I'm pretty sure that's the van from this movie. They just added Super to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, but what movie, what 90s movie or 90s character are you going to have a movie about? Hurry, Google a game no one's ever heard of.
I had an idea, but I feel like it would have just it wouldn't have done well because of how popular Lord of the Rings was, and that's Legend of Zelda.
Dude, I didn't say it because it seemed like I wanted to give someone else the opportunity to say it, but there is no more perfectly catered franchise to be alive in the 90s than The Legend of Zelda. Like, it's just, the 90s would have done it so dirty and so good all at the same time. Hey, look, I found this giant rupee.
Dude, like the way that I imagine that movie in my head is Ganon's pig form is basically one of those green pig creatures from Star Wars.
Or, I mean, listen, we had Willow, which definitely is set and setting for Legend of Zelda. And we did have, what is it? I don't know when the Turtle movies came out. But you had, Razor and whatever it was. So like you could have made some kind of weird animatronical pig Ganon that would have, again, looked atrocious. But if that had come out in the 90s, would be like, it's peak nostalgia. Could you remember the Link movie? It was amazing. Like, people would definitely be talking about the Zelda movie.
Dude, out of everything that hasn't been done yet, I'm surprised that they haven't tried doing a Metroid movie or a Legend of Zelda. I mean, think those two would be incredible right now.
Metroid would be amazing. Legend of Zelda is kind of got the same thing. I never saw the Halo series that's on Paramount Plus, but the main thing that I hear, or I've heard it recently because The Last of Us has done so well by basically using the exact story to do their first season. And what people are saying is they're like, why are you telling, like, they're talking about how The Last of Us did it right and Halo did it wrong because Halo was like, hey, do you like Master Chief? So do we. We're going to tell you a story where he takes his helmet off and he does it right away. And you're like, what? We've known Master Chief for decades at this point and he doesn't do that. Like, what are you saying? He says 5 lines and that's it. You never see his face. That's the whole gimmick. The Flood show up, he kills them, the end until the next one. So I don't know. Like, I think I just wanted to say that I heard Halo sucks. I can't even remember why I'm telling you now. But
I've seen clips from Halo, and yeah, like there's some stuff in there that like it seems pretty cool, but they have this whole sequence, and I don't know if it's like the last fight. I don't know where it is within the series, but they have a whole sequence where he's fighting, and it is seriously from a first-person perspective, like you're playing the freaking video game. And it's just ridiculous.
Wow.
Again, maybe it's one of those things that, like, if you'd never played a Halo game before and you saw this, you were like, wow, 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 wee, wow. And you go and you start playing Halo games. But I honestly think it should be the other way around. Like I said, I haven't seen Halo, and I have not seen 1 second of the Last of Us TV show, but by all accounts, it's amazing. So, I mean, I don't know. Good video games like that, story-driven games, are, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you would do that with something like Doom or Halo or whatever, but it's not. Because, by the way, Doom did the same thing you're talking about, also starring the terrible Rock. But they did a thing where he was like, look, it's me, first person, and I'm using the Doom gun. And everyone universally hated it then, too.
Yeah. If you're going to do something like that, you need to do what The Last of Us did. And we highly recommend that show. That show's freaking fantastic. But yeah, like, you can't go just straight up like, oh, look at this. It's like straight out of the video game, because people are going to hate that. It's like universally hated. Like, you just have cameo or little like Easter eggs to stuff that's within the video game, and just stuff that people can be like, hey, like, I know what that is.
Or there's even a third route you can go, and that is the movie that we are going to talk about tonight, which is you do a bunch of mushrooms and you start writing and you never stop. You never stop.
Absolutely. So yeah, getting into this. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros and Untrained Eye letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal score at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up and spit through our algorithm, and yeah. So at the end, it gives us a letter grade to compare this movie to others of a similar grade, as well as a percentage, but the percentage doesn't matter quite as much. It's just fun to see where this ranks within the school grade system.
Now, remind me, Caleb, does the personal grade still count towards the final grade?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Listen, I'm going to be doing my best, if you've heard me on this show before, to not skew, to give it like a legit personal grade, not just 100.
Well, that's what the personal score is for.
But I mean, sometimes
if you give it 100, this better be your favorite movie of all time.
Can I just tell you, when I was a child, my first experience with watching this movie, because it's funny, because before we got on the show, I was like, oh, my family, we're too poor for video games, but we're not too poor for the movies. That was kind of a lie, because the first time I saw this movie was on like HBO or Showtime or whatever. We had one of those, don't get it twisted, we were still poor. We just had one of the illegal boxes. If you're an old person, you know what I'm talking about. It was like the D-Scrambler or whatever. I recorded it on VHS videotape, and I watched that tape every day after school for about a good year, and all through that summer. Like, let me tell you something. I loved this movie. Loved this movie when I was
Oh. So yeah, so I know Rose's first interaction with this movie was our viewing on Sunday. Or had you seen it before, Rose?
No, never.
You hadn't seen anything about it?
Like, dude, the only exposure I had really seen to this movie was like those videos that I shared with you of like the making of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. That's what I've seen the most of, like how much of a train wreck, how much of a shit show it was to get this damn movie made.
Well, what do you mean? By the way, an all-star cast, just so we're all clear on this. Like, freaking Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, freaking Dennis Hopper, the aunt from Harry Potter. Everybody was there.
Yeah. So my first interaction with this movie is so when I was in high school, I went to an early college high school. So I had some college classes, so I had access to the college campus in Utah. And so like they had like a big like movie library. So whenever I would stay after school, I'd go to the library and I would grab a random movie, and like I would actually like shuffle and see which letter to go into the movies, and then walk over there, find out like some random movie that stuck out to me, and I'd sit there and watch that while I did my homework and whatever. But so it's just like completely random one day. Like I was doing my homework, went to the S's, and was just like walking through, and I saw Super Mario, and I was like, what? And I grabbed it, and like I saw the image, but it was it was a black and white, because they didn't have the actual covers for the movies, so it was black and white. So I was just like, oh no, wait, thinking it was about the video game, but I wasn't sure so it wasn't a confirmed oh yeah, this is about the video game, and I wasn't super familiar with the I'd played the Mario games before. I just didn't know the names of everything, so I didn't know that the little turtles are called Koopas.
That's hilarious.
Or the Goombas or anything. I just called them the little Mario turtles or the Mario
mushrooms
things. So I didn't have terminology for all of that. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be sick. This is about the video game. So I put it in, watched the movie, and I remember I didn't do any bit of homework. But I just was sat there and I was just like, what is this? They got the plumber thing right, but
a little too right.
Yeah, I'm so they got that right, but why is Mario wearing a green jacket and Luigi's wearing the red hoodie? What's up with that? Okay, so maybe this is loosely based, and then they just kind of getting into more stuff. I'm what the hell is a Goomba? I'm this is something completely different. Thinking that it was just absolutely not Mario. And then at the end, when they're in their full get up, I was like, what is this movie?
Just my nephews are 12 and 15, and we sat down to watch this movie with them, and they sat. To their credit, it is very rare that we're watch this old movie with us, and they don't immediately start talking, and what's this, and who's that, and blah, blah, blah. And they sat there and they watched this whole movie, and they both were like, this movie was really good. If this new movie isn't as good as this one, I don't even know what to think about any of this. I was like, I'll take it. I cannot believe that you said any of that, but thank you so much. Also, one thing I thought was funny, I know this is going to go more to story, but the first thing my older nephew said, he was like, this is kind of Luigi's movie. And I was like, it is pretty much Luigi's movie.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah, he's not wrong. So if you haven't seen this movie, you've had a decent chunk of time to do so. Actually, 30 years exactly.
I was going to say, it came out in 93. A young 10-year-old Dominic James was out there his mind was blown that they were making a video game movie and he was going to be able to see it with his eyeballs. It was impossible that this was going to happen. And there it was. It was right up there. Sorry, reading with Rose.
No, so I just checked that actual release date, and we're seriously 2 months early for a 30-year
anniversary.
We're recording this on March 28th. This came out May 28th.
Wow,
that's funny.
So this is damn near a 30-year.
Just
special.
Mario. Nintendo screwed up every step of the way on releasing this new movie. First of all, how do you not release the new one on Mario Day, March 10th? You frickin' morons, every one of you. But then, why not? Listen, I think that there is this movie that we are about to talk about, I think it's not as bad as some people like to portray it as. I know it had a very hectic filming process, and it wasn't fun for a lot of people that did it, but this movie is not bad. And I think that if those freaking dummies at Nintendo had decided to be we are going to put this out on May 28th, and that just be the little nod to the freaking dorks like me that would be oh my God, it's the same day that one is so good. I love it. If you're not going to do Mario Day, do it May 28th. What are you thinking? Sorry. Reading with Rose.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, you've had 30 years, but Rose is about to spoil the entire freaking movie for you. So, with that, everyone's favorite segment, Reading with Rose, with 2 E's.
but not where you think.
All right. Following the impact of a meteorite into the Earth 65 million years ago, the universe is split into two parallel dimensions. Surviving dinosaurs escape into the new dimension, evolving into a humanoid race and founding the city of Dino Hatton. In 1973, a large egg and a rock are left at a Catholic orphanage. The egg hatches into a human baby. 20 years later, Italian-American brothers Mario and Luigi Mario, working as plumbers in Brooklyn, are close to being driven out of business by Mafisio Anthony Scapelli's construction company. Luigi meets Daisy, an NYU archaeology student who shows him she has been excavating for dinosaur bones under the Brooklyn Bridge. There, they witness Scapelli's men sabotaging it by leaving the water pipes open. Mario and Luigi fix it, but Iggy and Spike, henchmen and cousins of Koopa, the king of the other dimension, kidnap Daisy, and the brothers pursue them through an interdimensional portal to Dino Hatton. Daisy learns she is descended from dinosaurs and the long-lost princess of the other dimension, where her father was overthrown as king by Koopa, and her mother, the queen, was the one who took her to Brooklyn. Iggy and Spike realize that they lost Daisy's rock, in fact, a meteorite fragment that Koopa needs to merge the worlds, believing only Daisy can do so because of her royal heritage. Mario and Luigi rescue Daisy, aided by Toad, a good-natured guitarist who was developed into a Goomba, a semi-humanoid dinosaur, as punishment for a protest. Koopa's girlfriend Lena obtains the rock but dies merging the worlds. The worlds separate again when Mario, Luigi, and Daisy remove the fragment from the meteorite and Koopa pursues them. Mario and Luigi obtain devolution guns and use them to defeat Koopa by devolving him into primeval slime. Daisy's father is restored as king, and the citizens celebrate and immediately destroy anything with Koopa's likeness. Daisy decides to stay in Dino Hatton and kisses Luigi goodbye as she opens the portal for him and Mario to return to Brooklyn. 3 weeks later, Daisy arrives at Mario and Luigi's apartment in Brooklyn and asks them to help her on a new mission. And a wonderful setup for the sequel that never happened.
Dude, can I just tell you that this movie did a lot of things for me when I was a kid, and that was chief among them, was go, oh, what do you mean it's over? Because, like, I already knew, by the time I saw this movie, I already knew what Back to the Future was, so I was like, well, I mean, certainly when they say, Doc, we got to get back, there's going to be another movie. So she just said, Mario, we got to get back. And so there's going to be another movie. And I spent a good chunk of time being like, they're going to do it. It's going to be here one day. We're going to see Mario 2. Also, this is a movie where I was introduced to the yin yang on fire. A shirt that I guess nobody noticed that Luigi wore throughout the entire movie, even 3 weeks later, after they saved Brooklyn.
Dude, despite its age, the story itself is not horrible.
It's really not. Like, listen, I mean, we'll get into it with effects, but like the effects couldn't keep up with the idea of it all. But like the idea of two dimensions diverging off. One is they're descendants from apes. The other one descendants from lizards, and they both kind of look like the same thing at the end, and they want to come back. Like, it's not a bad. It's good. Well, good might be strong, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, even when Rose was reading it, like the score kind of like got bumped up a couple points for me, because I was just like, okay, like this works, like it doesn't like not work. Like it's really freaking good.
I mean, listen, this is a weird thing of like, what was it? Who is the guy? James Cameron? Is he the one that's like, I always had the idea for Avatar, but the CG or whatever wasn't there. Like, this movie seems like it had way bigger ideas than the time would allow for. Because all of it was good. Like the idea that like, oh, we can, the only reason that this portal has opened back up between Dino World and Mammal World is because Scapelli was down there, trying to do whatever plumbing things Scapelli does. I don't know. Like the devolving chamber, all of it. Like it was all a good idea. It wasn't possible to do whatever was written down was almost impossible to do.
Dude, absolutely. But I mean, when you break it down to it, like just what it was, I think the two areas where this kind of movie falls apart is the writing and the effects. But the story itself, like big picture story, was relatively decent.
What do you mean? What's wrong with the writing? There's a flood.
What do you mean? What's wrong with the writing? We're going to get into what's wrong with the writing.
Let me tell you one of the best lines in the history of cinema. There is a site that is being flooded. Hey, Mario, you got to help us. The site's flooding. And he's like, grab your belts. We're going in. Like, what? I love Bob Hoskins. The greatest line in all of cinema. Grab your belts. We're going in. Listen, I am going to fight you a little bit on effects, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I don't know. Rose, I'm sorry. I'm talking too much. Say something about the story you loved.
I don't know. I feel I'm indifferent to you guys, just because I thought the story was just all right, and I feel that it might just be because, like, I mean, even though Caleb didn't see this until he was in high school, you guys, to you guys, this was the only Mario movie ever. There was nothing else that was going to follow it. Nothing. Yep. I didn't see this until the Super Mario Bros. Movie was announced. We've seen trailers, we've seen the cast, we've seen. The only thing that we haven't seen yet is the movie, and we're like 2 weeks away from that. And so I'm like comparing, and I tried not to, but I compared a lot of like what I've seen with that movie and what I'm seeing in this movie. And it's just that one is getting so much more right with the Mario franchise that I love so much. And I'm just like, I appreciate the ambitions that they were trying with this story. Like they were trying to do a lot more gritty. They were trying to do something so different. And it does work for me in some spots, but in some spots it does not. So yeah,
I think it's hard to say that this new movie is doing better by like the source material, because for all we know, the only stuff that looks good is what we've seen. Like right now, the only thing that this movie had, or that the new movie has on this one, is that they have video game accurate characters.
Yeah.
I will say though, at least with this new one, it's actually going into the Mushroom Kingdom. It's not going into this whole, and I'm not saying Dino Hatton is a horrible made up thing, but at least with this one, we're actually transporting into a world that we actually know of. We know what the Mushroom Kingdom is.
Fair. I mean, in fairness, I'm pretty sure that Dino Hatton, which hilarious, did he have like a crystal ball into the mammal world? Like, why Dino Hatton? But he clearly took over from the Mushroom King, which means he took over the what? The Mushroom Kingdom. So, check and mate.
God damn
it. No, you're not wrong about anything that you said at all. And that's what's crazy is I get that, and that's why I was asking about like the personal grades at the end. And like I definitely understand my nostalgia around this movie, but like just for a spoiler of my personal grade, like this movie in my mind before I rewatched it did not hold up that well. Like I was actually kind of dreading watching it because I was like, man, I know it just can't be that good. And while this movie was not amazing, it held up way better than I thought it would have. Like I really enjoyed it. It was just a fun movie to watch. The fact that I had a 12 and 15-year-old watching it with me and they were like, This movie's dope. I like it. I like the Goombas. I like everything about it. And they have taken in all the Mario media. Like, they didn't know this movie existed until we were like, do you want to watch this movie? And they were like, what in the world could this possibly be? So, and while they're not wrong, I don't know. It's, the story, I mean, towards the end, it does what stories in the 90s did, which was go, oh, god dang it, this movie's got to be over. All right, run. Like, they turned a man into a monkey on the news. And the reaction of the crowd wasn't correct, which would be horrifying. And we need to kill these Goomba people that just showed up. They just pointed and laughed because Scapelli's the bad guy. What? And then they disappeared, and everyone's just like, ag, that's hilarious. Look at him. He's a monkey. Look at this guy. I bet he wears a diape. Look at him, Scapelli. So yeah, I mean, towards like the last third of it, it all kind of like comes crashing into the end. But I don't know. I agree with you, Caleb. Like, I think this was like a way higher concept than anyone would have imagined for a Mario movie at the time, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, getting into like the individual story parts or stuff that I like to look at, the pacing itself was good. It was maybe a little bit slow until they jumped into like through the portal, and then it really ramped up. But I mean, other than that, like, and like I said, it's just like a little bit of a slow portion, but it was still like good.
By the way, in fairness to when they went through the portal, I was actually happy at the speed it was going, because when they got down there, I couldn't remember if they left and came back. And I thought that they did, and I was like, God dang it, are we really going to have to wait longer? And he's like, Mario, I'm out of here. Wee! And jumped in there. And I was like, yes, this movie's starting now. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, that I thought the same thing. I don't know why I thought they left again, but yeah, it's a hard story to explain. Like not really. I mean, because it's like the basic story is basically what Mario has. King Koopa has taken the princess, and Mario and Luigi need to go save her, and that's exactly what it is.
I mean, he's got a bad plan. He's going to do a thing, and if we don't stop him, it's going to be bad for everybody. The end. It's a Mario movie. Mm-hmm. By the way, can I just say, too, that portal that they go through in the stone, I didn't realize it until we were talking about it just now. You guys have both played Mario 64, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have not, actually.
You haven't?
That's wild, by the way. Of the two of you, I definitely would have picked Rose to not have played it. But if you look in Mario 64, like whenever he jumps through the paintings, that's kind of like the same effect. Like, I wonder if that is like a little small homage to that movie. Doubtful, but maybe. Because it is the kind of that same effect, like when they jump through that stone as jumping through that the paintings in that game. Which, I don't care if it's true or not, I now choose to make that my headcanon forever.
Dude, it honestly might have been. Because the initial release date of Super Mario 64 was June 23rd, 1996. 3 years after this movie. So it is not completely outside the realm of possibility.
I choose to believe that.
Yeah, I'll take that too. That's the now canon in my head
as well.
By the way, one of the things I think you would put this for story. Maybe this would be for writing. I don't know. You tell me. Two things that I really enjoyed in this movie was when they finally got into their super outfits with their super shoes, and they stood in the position that you saw on the front cover where they made the M, while they were standing next to each other. That was amazing, to see that come to fruition. Also, I did like at the end when the reporter guy was like, and I think I would call them the Super Mario Brothers. And like I was saying before, if you look at the van in the new movie, it looks just like the van from that movie, except it does look like it's just got like a little super added on the top. So I don't know, like even if that's the only nod we get to that, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take it too. Oh, where are you guys sitting with story? Because I think I'm like not the highest, because I do feel like there was some janky stuff that they pulled off, and like you said, the ending felt a bit rushed.
Yeah,
for me, but I mean that doesn't knock it down too much for me. I think I'm still in the 70s, but I think I'm in like the high 70s.
You guys are gonna hate me.
I was gonna say you guys are gonna hate me in the other direction because I was thinking in the 80s somewhere.
So where
I'll just say mine.
Rose?
Yeah. Let's start with Rose. We'll start with Rose, then with Caleb, then I'll go.
So I'm at a 55. I'm just kidding.
Damn!
No, I'm just
wow,
kidding.
You have no balls. Write that down. You write down 55 right now.
No, I'm at a 70.
Boo! I liked it when you were honest.
Damn. Like, okay, was 55 like actually a score you were considering, or
no?
you were
It's not that
okay.
bad.
Okay, that's like okay, slightly less than average. That's fine.
Caleb,
I think I'm going to go 78.
Yeah, I'm going with 83. Because I think that if this story had come out, if they were going to do a this live action movie now, with that same premise, I think this would have still been like a really cool side movie to do.
Yeah, I mean, they did a fantastic job. Unfortunately, the writing for this was not very good.
Grab your belts.
Caleb, you're telling me you didn't love the line. Just, I guess this is more so in the acting, but just the way that the line said "monkey" was.
That was hilarious. How dare you? Dennis Hopper is a treasure. Monkey.
Dude, there.
And when he was like Goomba.
There was so much that I had issues with, and it was all writing issues. It was freaking King Koopa ordering a pizza, and that, like, for a good couple minutes, like, he was ordering a pizza, and then he just, like, they completely ignore it for a good portion of the movie, and then he cancels that order later on when he's, like, on the radio, and they're just like, you want your pizza? And he's like, no! And then...
Like, just I actually like stuff like that. Like, I am a big fan of dumb jokes like that. So the fact that they were like, because who knows if they really remembered or if they were like, oh yeah, he ordered a pizza earlier. Hurry, have someone call him on a walkie-talkie. Like, I love that became the freaking like, Jesus, were we still talking about this? No. One of my favorite issues came right at the beginning when Daisy is showing Luigi the site, and he's like, no, you're beautiful. And they almost kiss. And then the guys start running, the water starts flowing, and they're like, oh no, it's the Scapelli boys. And they're wearing Scapelli plumbing shirts. Hey man, you're the worst bad guy ever. Just wear a white shirt. So what are you talking about? Like, anyway, I love
freaking Luigi's like sitting there going like, what did they do? And like, you don't see the freaking flood of water coming out of that room.
Okay, so again, that was another like throwaway thing that they did that you didn't hear later, maybe, because they go in there and she's like, oh my God, it's a good thing you're here. And he's like, why? And she's like, you're a plumber. I know exactly what to do. Go gets his brother, comes back. Mario is the only one doing any plumbing. And you find out very soon after why that is, because when they're looking for a plumber in Dino Hatton, they go to arrest Mario, and what does Luigi do? I'm not a plumber. I'm an apprentice. Take him. Take my brother. I'm an apprentice. Like, he throws his brother under the bus immediately.
Dude, I didn't catch that at all. I think I was too busy laughing at whatever the hell was happening.
Yeah, he tried so hard to just be like, I ain't me. I don't know any plumbers. I don't know what you're talking about. That guy.
I think, yeah, it was that. What else? Oh, freaking Iggy and Spike.
How they got dumber when they got smarter?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I was telling Rose, I'm just like, how did they get more annoying? And then, on top of that, they turned on King Koopa for no reason whatsoever.
What I thought was funny, too, was the de-evolver, like how it just, they made it seem like, you needed to be in there for a second. No, you didn't. It was any time at all. Whatever time you were in there was how long it took. And sometimes it made your head small and like a pea with a mouth on it. And sometimes you looked exactly the same and your eyeballs changed a little bit. Or you don't change at all. In the case of Iggy and Spike, you just go, well, quite so, good chap.
Dude, one thing that was like super confusing, and I don't know where I would have put this. I'll say it's a writing issue. What in the hell was up with the different Goomba heads? Like, we had some that looked like lizards, had some that looked like snakes, and then we had some that looked...
Exactly.
I don't know how to explain it.
So, like a
dildo with teeth?
That would probably be, that's hilarious. Hilarious that you're like, I don't want anyone to hear about the freaking ball torture, but a dildo with teeth is just fine.
Yeah.
Hey girl, you ever had your bottom half bitten off? Whatever the glass onion thing was. I don't know, like balls in a vice or whatever you were talking about. Whatever it is that you're into. Listen, we're not here to judge. Moving on.
It sure as hell wasn't that.
Caleb's into some weird stuff, but we love him.
Hell.
The hell? Caleb, you're telling DJ before you tell me? What the hell?
Dude.
I live closer.
All right, you got me there.
No, one thing that, and I think this would actually, what we're talking about would kind of go more to like costumes or effects, but Beth pointed out that the cops in that world or whatever, they basically were wearing like Shy Guy masks. Mm-hmm. Or maybe, and I was like, I'd never noticed that until she was like, hey, they look kind of like the Shy Guys. I'm like, oh, I can't believe I never saw that before. Like, it was, I don't know. It's little touches like that. Like, even though you didn't get to see much of Dino Hatton, like you got to see, what was it? Hammer Brothers tattoos, Bullet Bill's bar or whatever it was. There was one other thing that I can't remember. I don't know. Sorry. We're talking about writing. We're going in.
Okay. Hey, never Google Shy Guys.
Shy Guys, detailed pics, no pants.
No, literally the third picture is something that someone did of like a Shy Guy taking off his mask. And it's terrifying. Art. Yeah, it's oh my god, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
Is it 2 dildos with teeth?
Yes, how did you know?
One for the top and one for the bottom.
God. Dude, I didn't realize that they created some Koopas based off of Iggy and Spike.
Yeah, that's like their children, right? Koopa's kids.
Yeah, like look those guys up because I know who they are. I just didn't realize these one Iggy and Spike had to be made because of this movie.
Almost certainly. Almost certainly. Because what Mario the properties had come out in between Mario 64 and Super Mario 3.
Ooh, good question.
Well, you know what? Iggy and Spike, they were in Super Mario 3. So, unless Super Mario... Because the Koopa Kids were in that game, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know. Because I don't know anything. I'm just thinking about...
Alright, so we had Super Mario Bros. In 1985. Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, 86. Super Mario Bros. 2 came out in 88. So did Super Mario Bros. 3. Then Super Mario Land came out in 89. Super Mario World came out in 90.
Which one, Land or World? Which one of those was on the Game Boy?
Land.
That was the first Super Mario Brothers game I ever beat. And when I tell you that I ran around my house, like literally did laps around my house, that was the first game I ever beat. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. And then, Super Mario World in 1990. Super Mario Land 2 came out in 92. Then the movie came out in 93. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island came out in 95, Mario 64 in 96, and then we didn't get another Mario game until Super Mario Sunshine in 2002. And then we had something for like damn near every other year. So it was like the new Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Galaxy in 07, Super Mario Bros. Wii, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Super Mario 3D Land, new Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. U, Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario Maker, Super Mario Run, Odyssey, Mario Maker 2, and Mario 3D World and Bowser's Sphere, which I feel like there's some missing. Because I know, like, my favorite Mario game was Superstar Saga.
Superstar Saga. What the heck was that?
It was on the Game Boy Advance. It was like where you're playing as Mario and Luigi, but you control each one with, like, you control Mario with the A button and Luigi with the B button, so either one of them will jump. It's like a turn-based RPG.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, but they travel to the Bean Kingdom. Like, Princess Peach is, like, traveling there for some, like, democratic mission or whatever. And
mushroom
Mario
business.
And Luigi, yeah, for mushroom business.
She wants to meet a couple of fun guys. Come on.
Yeah, so... Yeah, anyway. So, I mean, you said they came out in Super Mario 3?
I'm pretty sure, and I just did a bit of soft Googling I just did. At the very least, Iggy first showed up in 88. Either Iggy or Spike. I was just looking. So, I don't know. I think they may have already existed, and they were just like, these guys know Koopa, let's do Iggy and Spike. They're cool names.
Yeah. Anyway. The, writing-wise, I think there was just too many issues for me to overlook and think it was good.
Yeah. It was, in the words of my nephew, every interaction before they went to the Mushroom Kingdom between Luigi and Daisy was super cringe.
I mean,
yeah,
not wrong. Not wrong.
Dude, and what about the frickin' Mario hitting on that one chick to try and get that rock piece back? Bertha?
That was amazing, by the way. And just so you know, my man, the Mario brothers, those fools, they're not only gentlemen, okay, but they are suave gentlemen. Because Luigi was like, not, hey baby, let's go to the beach and make out. At the end of the date, what did he say? He's like, if it would be okay with you, I would like to walk you home. And I actually wrote down, Luigi is a gentleman. And then there's
Luigi's
Mario.
A stud. And I freaking love how, like, supportive in the background Mario was being, just kind of like, yeah. Just kind of rooting his brother on.
Dude, Mario's the man, okay? He's clearly, him and his lady's relationship are strong enough that he can go and be like, listen, baby, you know what I had to do? I had to give her the old Mario 1-2 charm-a-rooski so we could get that there rock back and get you out of here. By the way, neither of their accents were as bad as I'm making it to be, but the fact that they're like, Italian Americans, shut up.
Dude, I mean, it worked, though.
It was good. Like, again, my nephew was right when he said this was kind of Luigi's movie, because Mario did not have a lot to do or say in this. But I don't know. I think it worked better anyway because of what you're saying. Like, Mario supporting his brother Luigi, Luigi out there having an adventure with his brother backing him up, even though, again, threw him under the bus the first chance he got. The first chance he got. Even, by the way, we also find out that they don't have parents. Like, Mario says nothing because clearly Luigi's like, I didn't know my pops or my moms, just like you. And Mario doesn't go, yeah, I remember them before they left. Nope. They just were always gone, apparently. It's like, Mario was my mom and my dad. Hey, he was great. I loves that, guys.
Yeah, I think they did a good, or they made a good choice with, and we'll get into this in a second with acting, but I think they made a good choice with the accents that they went with, where it was just Queens.
Yes. Like, but again, I'm going way overboard. Like, Bob Hoskins did it I mean, they both did it exactly right. But like, I always, again, even though I love both of them, but Bob Hoskins, like, he's freaking guy from Roger Rabbit. He's Shmee. I love Bob Hoskins.
Shmee?
He was, yeah.
Oh, and from Hook?
Yes.
Oh, that was him?
Shmee is me. Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Dude, I love some Bobby.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's great. I mean, I love John Leguizamo. Again, I was telling you beforehand, Caleb, like, John Leguizamo, I love that dude. Like, this was probably the first movie I saw him in, and I was immediately on board with John Leguizamo 100%, and have been ever since. Sad you couldn't make it on the show, John. Love you. I know you're listening. I'm a very big fan. Please be in the new Spawn movie if they make one.
Dude, I stand by. He would have made a really good Luigi.
Oh, you mean like currently?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
or like get him to voice Mario. Like, what the hell is up with freaking Chris Pratt?
I'm supporting Charlie Day all day.
At least, okay, get rid of Chris Pratt and then throw in John Leguizamo.
Listen, this is the one thing about this new movie that I'm like, please don't oversell this, because did you guys do the thing where you can like call, they had like on the Super Bowl thing, you could call and then you could get or you would text something and then the text would give you a number that you could call, and the call would lead to a voicemail that would send you to a website and so on and so on. Did you guys know or do any of that?
No, it sounds like way too many hoops to jump through.
So my nephew, who has nothing but time, did all that. And on the voicemail, whenever you call the number, it's Charlie Day's Luigi doing the like outgoing message. Hey, we're not here right now. But blah, 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 blah. And he does a joke that makes me laugh because I love dad jokes. But I'm like, I don't know. But at the end, he's like, and we don't, here at the Super Mario Brothers Plumbing, we don't say let's stop, we say let's go. Come on.
Oh my God.
Okay,
you might have just convinced me to call that number.
It's good. Listen, if you are have the gumption inside of you, insert that audio right here. Oh man, that was good. I loved it. Oh man, what a great thing Charlie Day did. Or terrible. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway.
But yeah, I think they really should have done thrown in John Leguizamo as Mario.
He definitely, listen to me, he should have been included for sure. I still think it's a travesty to not have, because I know what's going to happen. The guy that voices Mario and Luigi and everybody now, he's going to voice something, but it's going to make everybody mad. Because it's going to be like, hey, look, there's ancient Mario, and he's going to fall down a pit or something. Wah! And everyone's going to go, wait, was that how they used him? And they got Chris Let's-A-Go Pratt to do actual Mario? What are we doing? It shouldn't be Chris Pratt. I'm sorry. I love Chris Pratt. I want to be friends with him in real life, but it should not have been Chris Pratt to be the voice.
Absolutely not. And I like Chris Pratt too, but for Mario, that's a big no-go.
It's a big let's-a-no.
That's a no.
Show's over. My personal grade is beep and so long. Deuces. We're out.
Oh, God.
So for writing, like I said, I'm significantly lower. I think I'm a full 10 points difference from writing.
Damn.
I think I'm at 68.
I think I'm gonna match Caleb.
I'm gonna just for the fact that I did enjoy some of the dumb humor. I'm gonna go 70.
Fair
enough. Can I just say, I know I didn't really talk about the writing, but there's one part where frickin' Mario is saying, you don't handle the tools handle you, or some shit like that with the plumbing. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh my God.
They took plumbing way too serious in this.
When she's Mario and Luigi tries to go down this way and he's like, no, we gotta go this way. And he's like, no, it's going from that way. He's like, I've been working in pipes for years. That's an echo. We gotta go this way. Yeah. I'm like, what a crazy way to say that Mario knows what he's doing. He's like, if I know anything, I know the way pipes echo, Luigi. Let's go this way.
Yeah, that was freaking wild. All right. So yes, getting into acting, we have Bob Hoskins, who played Mario, John Leguizamo, who plays Luigi Mario. I gotta say real quick, I never thought about Mario's last name until this movie.
I don't think anybody did.
By the way, what I love is that Nintendo, this is like the frickin' black sheep of Nintendo that anything they've ever done, but they just leave it canon that his name is Mario and Luigi's name is Luigi Mario. I love that.
Dude, leave it to Nintendo to frickin' own up to their mistakes.
How dare you? That is not a mistake. That is Mario. It's the Mario Brothers. It's the Mario Brothers. Their parents are the ones to blame. They named their kid Mario.
Fair enough. All right. Getting back into this. We have Dennis Hopper, who plays King Koopa. Samantha Mathis, who plays Daisy. Fisher Stevens, who plays Iggy. Richard Edson, who plays Spike. Fiona Shaw, who plays Lena, and Dana Kaminsky, who plays Daniela.
You forgot the most important character of them all, the one who was just there through the thick and thin, everywhere, every step of the way, old Mojo Nixon.
Oh, yeah, Mojo Nixon
yes.
is Toad.
He's number one for me.
How dare you? How dare you? That man was in the film for all but 30 seconds. And they were like, nope, to the Goomba chamber with you.
And the fact that they had to call out that he was Toad, because no one was going to get that.
By the way, that is one thing that did not hold up from when I was a kid. Toad looked and sounded way cooler. And that was just a dude. They were just like, oh, God dang it, we need someone to play. Hey, you with the stupid haircut, come here real quick. We need you to say a couple. Can you play the guitar? Okay, all right. We just need you to say this real quick, and then we don't ever need to see you again.
Dude, holy shit.
What's that?
I'm not sure if everyone else is. So you know how Daisy's dad turns back into a person?
Yes.
Apparently, he was just known as the King for a while, but it's come out that his full name is King Bowser.
I was gonna say, I'm looking at IMDb right now, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I saw that too.
How freaking wild is that?
That is really wild.
Can I tell you one thing I love about this movie is like the top 10 billed people. If you go to their IMDb page and look at their top 4 most known for, a good portion of them, it's Mario. An alarming portion of them is Mario. Surprisingly not Dennis Hopper, though. I know, it's weird.
Yeah, that's interesting. What else is Dennis? Because it's like
Dennis Hopper. How dare you? Dennis Hopper has been in all the things. Dennis Hopper was like a staple of 90s, 80s, and 90s movies. I feel like for a long time.
Jeez,
wasn't he in? Who was the guy? Who was the Lex Luthor in Superman? It wasn't Dennis Hopper. Who was it? I mean the old school like Christopher Reeve Superman. If it's Dennis Hopper, I'm leaving this podcast right now.
It was
God dang, Dennis Hopper. Wow, he was in Waterworld. Good for him. Hell, a cyberpunk thriller. That was a video game. He was in Speed, of course. Let's see. He was in True Romance. Great movie.
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, also great. I definitely used to get those two confused as a kid, though.
Yeah. All right. What's everyone's top 3?
Oof. Well,
if you guys need time to think, I have mine.
Please go ahead.
Go for it.
All right. My number 3, I think I'm going to give to Fiona Shaw, who played Lena. Like, I think she was like the perfect level of crazy. I think Dennis Hopper is like real close, like real freaking close to. It could be a coin flip, but I'm giving Fiona Shaw my number 3 spot because Dennis Hopper played just a little too over the top for me.
Listen, she got unintentionally not unintentionally, but one of the greatest lines at the end of the movie when she tried to put the meteorite in and got flattened onto the wall and became a fossil. And Luigi looks over and goes, well, she made an impression. And everyone goes,
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, God.
She made quite an impression. Hey, we did it.
Yeah, so she's my number 3, even though she stabbed Yoshi.
Ooh, that was, by the way, everyone in the house said, what? You don't stab Yoshi. You do a lot of things, but you don't stab Yoshi.
Dude, I forgot that they actually had like Yoshi use his tongue.
Me too.
Oh.
Listen, we'll get into it in effects.
Yeah. So yeah, my number 2, I'm going to give to Bob Hoskins as Mario. He did an amazing job portraying this character in a live action depiction. Like he did I think he did the best that he could with what he was given. And if there's anything that can be said about this movie, it's that Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, who, spoiler alerts, my number 1, they are not the reason this movie sucks.
No, absolutely not.
True.
So yeah, that's what my top 3 looks like.
Very nice.
What do you think, Rose?
For me, number 3, I'm going to give to Dennis Hopper. I completely see where Caleb's coming from, where he says he was a little too crazy for him. but he was like just the right amount of. So I enjoyed his performance as the villain, even especially the whole monkey line. That was just so perfect. Number 2, I'm gonna actually flip flop with Caleb. I'm giving 2 to John Leguizamo. And the biggest reason why is, to me, just because Luigi has always been my favorite Mario character. In a lot of aspects, this doesn't feel like Luigi. It just, I'm sorry to say, like, John Leguizamo definitely made it his own, which I appreciated. But I don't know, like, he's not like scared like Luigi. I'm sorry, just it didn't feel like Luigi in parts to me, but his acting was great. Like, I really enjoyed his performance. So then, number 1, I would give to Bob Hoskins because, yeah, I loved his portrayal as Mario. He was great. They couldn't have picked anybody else better to play Mario. Yeah, I got like nothing but good things to say about Bob Hoskins. And I will also bring up with John Leguizamo, why the hell didn't he have a mustache? Like, come on. They're both supposed to have a mustache.
Look at that beautiful baby face. You can't put a mustache on that.
Like hell, I can't.
Maybe he can't put a mustache on that.
I was going to say, also, it might be some kind, I'm sure it's some kind of, Henry Cavill. He was on another movie situation.
All right. If that is the case, okay, I'll allow it. So yeah, that's my top 3.
Dude, has John Leguizamo ever had, like, I thought he had some facial hair in The Menu?
I'm sure he has. He probably had someone he was not being Bruno.
Oh, no. Yeah, I just, because I was sworn he had it in The Menu, but I can't seem to see him with facial hair.
Wait, was he in that movie with Santa Claus? What was that movie?
Violent
Night? Violent Night. Was he in that movie?
Yep.
He was.
Oh, because I'm looking at... Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, God dang. That dude has 11 upcoming projects.
Damn.
The Power, Waco, The Aftermath, Hypno, Tin Soldier, The Green Veil, The Adventures of Drunky, Samola's First Lady, The Godmother, a word I surely cannot say, The Devil's Angel, Love You Forever, Donna Dell. All right, relax.
Okay, it must have been an age thing, because like I'm seeing him in, what's it called? The Infiltrator, and he has a freaking killer Mario-esque mustache. But everything else, there's some where it's not a super great mustache, but...
By the way, how old do you think he was, unless you already know, how old do you think he was in this movie?
Ooh, that's a good question. I
just guess.
Do not know.
Just guess.
If I had to, okay. I would say late teens, early 20s.
He was 33.
33?
He was born in 1960. Because that's what I thought too up until right now. I was like, wait, what do you mean he was born in 1960?
Damn. Dude, what the hell?
So kudos to John Leguizamo. Latin don't crack. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
He looks amazing for his age.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah,
right, what's your top 3, DJ?
So I need to give some honorable mentions, okay? And they go in this order. Spike and Iggy, they're on the same level. I listen, I get it, but also they did exactly what they were contracted to do perfectly. Thank you, Fisher Stevens and Richard Edson. Samantha Mathis as Daisy, listen to me. That lady is never going to get the credit that she deserves, so I'm just going to give it to her now in the form of an honorable mention. She was also in a movie called Broken Arrow. If you guys have not seen that movie, I remember it being good, but it surely isn't.
According to the guy who responded on Instagram, she is no longer acting. Oh, that's not true. She has she's going to be in something in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's in something now. 12 Desperate Hours.
Yeah.
She was in Billions. She did 3 episodes of Law & Order. Hey, nobody does 3. She's definitely anyway. And then my final honorable mention is Fiona Shaw. Like it was much like you. I was like, I don't know if she's going to be in the top 3 or not. But the true top 3 is Dennis Hopper at number 3. As much as it pains me, Bob Hoskins is number 2, and Luigi Mario is number 1. Because I feel like my personal grade is Bob Hoskins always gets number 1. But I mean, he honestly, like, I loved him in this movie. He just didn't do a whole lot, which is not, I'm not knocking against him for that. It's just like, this was kind of Luigi's movie.
It was absolutely Luigi's movie. Your nephew hit it right on the head with that one.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so my acting score, if it were just Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, like just them, I think I'd be around an 81, 82. I had a really decent time with their performance. I do think it was like there's a lot of 90s movies that I can't watch because of how cheesy the acting is, and it's mostly coming from the main people. But I think they were able, I think they were able to pull off their roles amazingly well. So that's why I'd give them so high. But I have to take into consideration everyone. So I think I'm going to be at like a 76. Roses. What are you thinking, Rose?
I'm actually higher than Caleb. Just because I'm putting in Hoskins and Leguizamo, but for how much like Dennis Hopper like really like amped up his performance and just sold it so well to me, I'm gonna go an 80.
Yeah, I'm going 80 as well, because like I think that those 3, and I would include what's them called, Harry Potter's aunt, like they were all like the rumor is they like no one was enjoying themselves, and they were all just drunk all the time doing this movie.
It's true.
So the fact that they just like, this was their kind of like, whatever, this isn't going to be anything anyway. We're just out here and we're just going to act. We're going to turn our acting chops up to frickin' 11, and just ham it up as best we can. But that's the thing. The Dennis Hopper and Harry Potter's aunt, I feel like they dialed it up to 11, but like it's still, even though I know, again, they weren't enjoying it and they were drunk, I feel like Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo took it relatively seriously. Like they played it pretty straight as like that character could be, I guess, in that kind of a movie. Like, I don't know. Bob Hoskins especially, he reminded me, you could almost make the same argument of like, he did as good in that movie for the same reasons why like Michael Caine did good in like the Christmas Carol. You know, he's like treating the Muppets like they're real people. Like Bob Hoskins is just like, whatever, man, this is a real place. I'm in Dino Hatton. We're going to get on some boots and I'm going to steal a rock from a lady named Bertha. See you later.
Yeah, if there's anything that I love about John Leguizamo, it's his freaking work ethic. Like he's like stated this a lot. Like no matter what he's in, he tries to give it his all, or he tries to give exactly what people like ask of him. And
have you guys seen The Pest? The movie The Pest?
Nope.
I can't, you know what? Never mind. I didn't say anything. That one might definitely be living in nostalgia world for me. But I was another John Leguizamo joint that I loved.
He's a great actor. And he's been in like so much shit that like you don't even think of. Like I forgot he voiced Sid the Sloth in Ice Age.
Yep.
What? How'd you forget that?
I have no idea.
It's like the one role that I always remember of his. Number 1.
Dude, he was what's his face? Starts with a T in Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio joint. God dang it, where is it? You know what I'm talking about? Did you guys see that movie back in the day? Romeo and Juliet, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes.
I have not seen that one.
I didn't know he was in Chef. I've seen Chef.
Yeah, he's the one that's running the food truck with Jon Favreau.
Yes. Why? In fairness, I did watch Chef on a plane, so I might have not been fully there. That is can I tell you, I watched it on a movie because I was like, this will kill the time. And I was like, this movie is amazing. Why am I watching this on a tiny, terrible screen?
Yeah.
Did someone just make a plane noise just then? Did you hear that? It sounded like ping. Am I being mocked?
A little bit.
It happened again.
That's me. Sorry.
Put your trays and seats in the upright position.
All right. Next up, we got character development, which for this,
LOL.
Yeah. If there's anywhere that this movie falls short, it's this as well.
There is none. What do you give it when it's neutral? Because there is nothing.
Okay, so like our average is like 75. That's like an average, just run of the mill.
I'll give it a 70.
Nothing
then.
Special, nothing like.
I'll give it a 70 because there is literally, he doesn't even change shirts in 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they could have taken this opportunity to like allow Luigi to learn something. Like, if you're not one to like give Mario any development, like don't. Like, it's completely understandable. But I think Luigi, like, he was young enough or portrayed young enough where it's like nothing, like, you can mold him a little bit. Like, it would have been.
But like, where could he really have gone from where he started? Like, he was just some dude that was like, we live in this, first of all, amazing apartment that they're apparently just scraping by at. And like, they're just going job to job. They save a mushroom kingdom. And then they're just like, all right, I guess we're back to just trying to beat out Scapelli for jobs. By the way, I know we're past writing, but that just reminded me. The one thing that did bother me so much at the very beginning with writing was when they're like, they get the call and they're like, you need to get down here. The pipes, they're bursting all over the place. And they go take the shortcut and they get there and they're like, Scapelli beat us here. Like, that's not how that works. They don't.
Who the hell calls two plumbers?
They don't call two and then go, whoever gets here first, you get the work. You get the work. Come on. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's just too ridiculous.
Yeah, I had an issue with that and the whole Mario fixing radiator issues with a water bottle.
Yeah, Caleb would not let that go.
Yeah, I just had to fix my radiator in my car, and no, there's no way in hell that you could fix that with a water bottle.
I mean, listen, in fairness to what he did, okay, I have definitely fixed some radiators with some water out of a bottle, because if you want to make it stop making crazy noises very temporarily, then yeah, you can do some crazy water in the radiator stuff. You're definitely making the problem worse in the long run, but it's going to sound better in the short run. So technically, I think they weren't wrong, but there was a bigger bill they forgot to tell us about where they had to buy a new van.
True. But yeah, like, I think it's around there too. Like, it's below average. There's not really anything to go off of. It's just Luigi kind of has this hero complex and has it, like, maintains it through the entirety of the movie. Doesn't really have that challenged or anything. He's just, like, all in for this girl that he barely met.
My nephew said that. Well, at the end, when he was like going to kiss, but I love you, I hear him whisper in the background, you just met her.
Dude, that's exactly what I told Rose.
Hey, maybe it secretly takes place in Utah.
Maybe. Shit.
Is that his betrothed?
Yeah, but I'm pretty low with character development too. I think I might be same as writing 68.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
I'm still holding strong at 70.
Fair. All right.
Everyone's
Next
favorite one.
Everyone's favorite. The effects.
Let's start this out strong. 35.
Get the hell out of my face, sir. You're wrong. Okay, listen. I am not gonna grade this by today's standards. I'm gonna grade this by 90 standards, and I'm going to tell you this movie is getting a solid 90 out of me for effects because
90.
Yes, because look, first of all, on the animatronics on Yoshi alone, like that was way better than it deserved to be for that movie.
I will bring up an argument that this movie came out the same year as Jurassic Park.
Thank you for bringing that up. I was just going to ask you to reveal that.
They don't have Steven Spielberg money. How dare you? It was just a small little scamp play. Had anyone even heard of a Nintendo in the 90s? No one even knew what a Nintendo was. They're out there, little scrappy scrappersons. But Jurassic Park is weird and unfair because like everything leading up to that movie, Jurassic Park, wasn't even like close to that. So Jurassic Park being what it was like mind blowing. And in fairness to what Jurassic Park was, it took a long time for anybody else to catch up to that, even like years and years after. So I'm going to say that less Jurassic Park, that was pretty on par and maybe even like ahead of where it should have been for most 90s movies. Because damn it, son. Come on. Really? You're going to take a damn Steven Spielberg movie and be like, hey, we've got the best director in the world against Jim or whoever directed this one. What do you mean Jim couldn't get all the money? He couldn't get Spielberg money? Why not? He's got the Nintendos.
You know what's really funny is that literally Jurassic Park came out like 2 weeks after the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
That is a travesty.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what else
I'm about to look too.
The director has done.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to look what else.
Of Super Mario Bros?
Yeah.
Yeah, Annabelle Jankel and Rocky Morton. Yeah, they literally only had like one movie under their belt, but when they got freaking hired.
Okay, now listen to me. Okay, maybe Jurassic Park did come out in the 90s or in 93, but also We're Back, a dinosaur story came out. Coneheads, Pre-Hysteria, a movie that absolutely was worse than Super Mario Brothers. Mighty Morphin's Power Ranger movie, Falling Down, great movie. If you haven't seen it, see it. Let's see, Free Willy, The Sandlot, Demolition Man. There's Jurassic Park. Yeah, dude, The Invisible Man, like What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Men in Time, Sex and the Single Alien, Searching for Bobby Fischer, Body Snatchers. I'm trying to look for other movies that would have like The Secret Garden, Kronos. Holy crap! Have you guys seen Kronos? Dude, don't look up anything about it. Find that movie and watch it, and then see if you're as stupid as me.
Damn, DJ.
Because at the end of the movie, I'm like, hey, this has a lot of parallels to something else. And I went and like Googled the movie and was looking at it, and it's like, yeah, stupid. That's what it was supposed to be the whole time. Why are you so dumb from watching movies? Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the phone. Do you know what else came out in 1993? No, that can't be right. Roger Rabbit? No, that's not right.
Yeah, I thought that came out later.
I might have come out before. Yeah, 1988. I think there was a short that came out in 93 that had Herman the baby. All right. I'm sorry I diverted so hard.
No, you're fine.
I stand by my 90. I'm giving it a 90, and I'm saying that less Jurassic Park, if you take every other movie and put it up against Super Mario Brothers, you would say, like, yes, if you put it up against Jurassic Park, of course, it's like a 60. But, I mean, come on, son.
All right. So we try to do that, too. We try to hold it by 90 standards to the best of our ability. The only effect that I will say I'm going to dock for is anything that was super obviously put on a green screen. And I'm talking like when they were flying through the portal and like when they had just come out of the portal. Like,
what do you mean?
Was very obvious green screen.
Yeah, when Bob Hoskins was falling into Dino World, I think I mentioned to Kip, I'm like, oh my god, that is so 90s effect.
Why is he upside down? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I will say a pretty decent effect that they had. What was that one that you said aged really well, Rose?
Was it the devolving?
No, not the devolving. It was when they were basically, or when they were merging with Earth. And they
yeah, like they kind of looked like they were disappearing as Thanos. Yeah, it actually looked pretty good. I was impressed by that.
Yeah, especially because I mean they were moving and everything, so that was trippy. So I mean I feel like that aged pretty well, and I mean this just kind of goes hand in hand with the effects. I do think the set design needs to be discussed here. Obviously, it's no Mushroom Kingdom or anything, but it looked really freaking cool.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, yeah, I was gonna include that as well. Is like I thought everything looked awesome. Like everywhere they were, like looked awesome. Like it didn't look like, well, I mean, it looked awesome again if we were looking through the '90s lens, but it didn't look like somebody redressed their garage to be a freaking to be a what is it, the throne room for the Mushroom King.
Yeah, like all they did there looked really good. The yeah, I mean, hell, even like the Goomba transformation, like that, I feel held up pretty decent. Now, what they transform into didn't, but the way that they transformed did.
Like, listen, no, I can't. I mean, anyone listening, please call in, write in, be on the show. Tell me, is there a further divergence than a Goomba in the video game to a Goomba in the movie? Like, does anything diverge further from the source material than that? A Goomba is a mushroom with feet.
Yeah. I'm very interested if anyone can beat that. I gotta see that.
Yeah. Just because I was thinking about throwing it in costumes, but it's not a costume. The only other effect that I'm thinking of that I'm gonna dock for is the freaking bullshit sparks in the vehicles.
That
like,
was
ooh, future
hilarious.
Vehicle, giant sparks flying out of it. Like, what the hell was that?
They used that instead of gasoline. Hello, they had electric cars. Freaking Dino Musk was out there freaking making Teslas.
Yeah, if there's anything I learned from that Dr. Parkenstein guy on TikTok, it's that sparks are wasted electricity.
That's hilarious. If anyone knows who Dr. Parkenstein is, I love you. I love you so much.
Yeah, so... yeah, I can't... Any other effects that you can think of, Rose?
No, honestly, I mean, I want to definitely go back to like the set design, because I feel you got to give credit to the actors for what they had to go through with that, because there was no AC at all in that set. So when you see wet or on any of the
moisture.
actors, that's actual moisture. Thank you. That's actual sweat. That is all sweat.
I will say this too. As far this would be, I don't know if this. We're talking about effects. Yeah, this would be effects. / costume-ish. Those jump boots, that was where the Goombas was like the worst transition from game to big screen. I think that was the best way they could have done that. To be like, we need them to do a super jump. We need it to happen. Let's put a freaking bullet bill into a super boot, and then you can jump like a crazy person across the thing. I mean, the jumps were stupid looking, obviously, but the boots looked awesome. Like, I liked the idea of it. I mean, clearly it would never actually work, but like, it was, I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah, they were super cool. A little inconsistent about like what they could do, because it did seem like they were just kind of flying around.
Well, and also it was very inconsistent of like, is one little bullet bill, is that one jump? Is it many jumps? I don't understand. Because sometimes they're like, it's one. Sometimes they're like, you could just jump forever like Bertha. So who knows?
Yeah. The other shit. Their guns that they had that were like basically just little flamethrowers.
That was the fireballs. That was your little fireball thing.
In fact, they looked like 64 guns. That was kind of cool.
No, you're talking about the de-evolution guns. Those were the super scopes from back in the day.
Yeah, that's what they were. Yeah.
That was again. I don't know if that would be. Yeah, that would be effects. Yeah, dude, that was. I mean, I personally, because a super scope was like, we definitely never had a Super Nintendo, but if I ever did, believe in your heart, super scope was like, you can't have a Super Nintendo without a super scope. I don't even know what you would use a super scope for. How about that? I don't even know one game that used a super scope, but I wanted one. I wanted it so bad.
Wait, are you guys talking about the thing where that chick was playing like Duck Hunt with the computer system?
No, that is like that is like the Zapper. That is the handheld gun. Yeah. What Koopa had at the end, that thing that he like put on his shoulder, the actual like de-evolution gun, that was just like the prop master putting a bunch of cool stuff on an actual like super scope, which was like this weird like bazooka stick thing that you could have. That again, I have no clue what you would use it for, anything. I just wanted it. I wanted it so bad.
I would have lost my shit if they would have been able to incorporate.
They might have. Who knows? And by the way, whether they did or didn't, they better do it in this new movie.
Yes.
They have to.
Agreed.
It's so bad.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of any other like effect that felt like bad to me. Dude, I want one of those freaking bomb-oms.
The bombs were awesome.
Yeah.
The king looked awesome too. Like that. What they did with him was cool because I don't know if you noticed, it looked like it was supposed to be, to me, maybe I was just seeing it, but it looked like it was supposed to be like one of those green pipes that he was coming out of in the throne room. And then even the transition from him going to giant booger to person, that transition wasn't terrible. Like it wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst booger to human transition I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think what people fail to realize about this movie is like, for the time, or for this, like what you're going based off of, like source material wise, like yeah, this is a complete and utter departure of whatever the hell they were going for. But for what it wasn't like that stuff. Like was great. Like there are so many props from this that I would freaking love. Dude, like I wanted a freaking one of those, the Mario jumpsuit. Dude,
those okay, I can't find the back of it now and I don't have it in here with me, but I don't know how you guys were able to watch this movie, but the only place I could find it was on Amazon on DVD, and I got it for like $3.94. But on the back of the DVD case, it says something along the lines of like special effects you won't believe, or like that's what it says, eye-popping effects. Eye-popping effects.
That's fantastic. It's a not completely wrong definition.
Again, for 93 again, this technically it did come out before Jurassic Park. So you would not, judge it with the Jurassic Park standards. But no, you're right, by the way. I remember me and my brother being like, I want to be Mario and Luigi for Halloween, because look at that. We can just have that and wear that all the time, and maybe we can even get some boots, maybe some jumpy boots. What about that?
Dude, I don't feel like those jumpy boots would have been... I mean, at least looking at it from an adult perspective now, I don't think that those would have been too hard to make with like some PVC.
Probably not. Probably not. I don't know. Everything in the Mushroom Kingdom, I thought, looked like it was obviously on a super small scale, but I thought it all looked cool. Like, I wanted to, even though there's probably nothing in there, I wanted to walk around it and like look, just see. I don't know. I want to go get a tattoo at the Hammer Brothers tattoo joint.
Yeah. So, gosh, I'm not too far away from you on effects. I think I might be like an 80.
Rose, hit me with the 50.
I'm going to be a little lower than you guys at an 85.
Still fair.
Not going to lie, I really expected you to be in the 70s, so...
Really? Okay.
I mean, for what it was, like in the time, like they were really good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's just the green screen, it felt very Spawn-ish.
Well, and also, again, like it's like you said, I do think a lot of this holds up, not, one for one, but like it holds up a lot better than I think a lot of other 90s movies do, especially when they're doing ambitious special effects like this that, again, are not backed up by industrial light and magic.
Yeah. Next up, we got music, which is something. So this is out of 10.
It's what's the medium? What's the median? Because I'm giving it that.
So our middle's 5.
Okay, it's 5. But listen to me. Nothing. Okay, you know why it gets a 5? I take it back. It gets a 6 because it's hilarious. Did you guys notice that right when the movie ended, the song they played matched perfectly to the movie you just watched?
Dude, seriously.
You didn't notice that because that movie or that song was insanity. It was like some lady singing a ballad.
Wasn't it like that was like the first credits that rolled was the name of that song. Like it wasn't the cast, it was none of that. It was the name of the song that was playing during the credits.
It was wild. I was like, it ended, and as I had to stop myself because I'm like asking my nephew, like, "Hey, what'd you think? What is this song?" What is this? Like, where is this from? Is this what? Is this what they were all the kidnapped girls were listening to as torture when they were waiting to find out who was Princess Daisy?
Oh shit!
Oh man!
But other than that, I didn't even really notice the soundtrack like at all. There wasn't any like. There wasn't much as far as like stings of like, here's a Mario sound you remember. A little bit with the boots, but it was like a riff on something you knew. It wasn't like an actual game sound. If that makes sense.
There were actually a couple like video game sounds in there. They were super,
but not Mario games. It was
they were Mario games. I forget. I'm trying to remember which sound it was.
Because I know there was a sound that sounded close whenever they clicked the boots together. It almost sounded like, not coins, but like maybe like hitting a question box or something. And to me anyway, everything sounded like just to the left of what was in the Mario games. Like it was close, but it wasn't. Like every time I'm like cocking my head, like it's Mario-ish. It's lowercase m Mario.
This is a tough one. What do you think, Rose?
I'm with DJ. I'm at a 6. Like nothing really stood out to me, so average level.
Okay. It hurts my heart to do that to this movie because I have an idea of where I want this movie to be grade wise, and I know that is not going to do it any favors, but. It just wasn't. I couldn't tell you one song other than the end song that made no sense to the entire movie.
Yeah, I was at it like a pretty solid 5, but with this one, it's more majority rules. So yeah, I'll meet you guys at a 6. All right, next up we got costumes. So this includes everyone, not just freaking Mario and Luigi. This is every single costume, and this is where I'm docking for the freaking Goombas.
What? Okay, why are you docking for the Goombas?
I think my issue with the Goombas is just inconsistency and not really. It's the heads. It's like they had like one that looked straight up like a snake head. They had one that looked like a lizard head, and then they had one that was like the brown Goomba heads.
I mean, they just are supposed to be reptiles. In fairness, none of them were mushrooms with feet and a face on it. So they clearly diverged 100% from the source material. So the theory is, right, is that they all were being devolved from what they spawned out of, and that was reptiles. And you're not all spawning from the same weird cue ball reptile that the toad Goomba you know and love evolved from. I don't know. All of this to say...
I think you got me there, dude. Like, I want to argue, but I'm like, I can't. Like, that's actually a really good point.
I actually love the costumes in this movie. Like, I think they all freaking swing for the fence and they make it. Like, there is nobody that's just like, hey, listen, Luigi's wearing the same thing. You know, he's wearing the same shirt. So they did get lazy, but like, at least it was a yin yang with flames on it. Were you saying this during the show or before the show? How like, it was so wild that they were wearing green and red in the opposite ways. And then they got to their thing. It was almost like, what kind of movie is this? Are they the Mario Brothers yet or not? We don't know.
That's what was throwing me off. It's like the whole movie, Luigi's wearing like a green hoodie, and then he gets put in the green freaking, or the red. He's in a red hoodie. He's wearing a freaking red pimp suit. They somehow throw Mario into a freaking yellow one for whatever reason, and then suddenly he's in green.
He's playing Wario as well.
He's playing Wario?
Yeah, he's playing Wario as well. I don't know.
Wow. You just... Dude,
I'll take
it. It is
that.
11:31, and I gotta tell you, you just blew my mind, Rose. Wow. Hey, I put my acting up by 1 point. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there was no, like, lazy costumes in this. There was no, like, just slap this one on. Like, I don't know. Everything seemed, I liked everything I saw.
Yeah.
Everyone seemed, I'll say this, everyone seemed unique. Even, like, stupid Toad. Like, he was there for a second, but I remember his dumb striped shirt and his weird freaking overall thing. Bertha in her freaking red devil suit. Like, Harry Potter's aunt with her weird, like, by the way, that lady showing a lot of cleavage. I was like, what is happening here, Harry Potter's aunt? What are you doing over here? Yeah. I don't know. It was a good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good, and you definitely talked me up.
But to what?
But how high up? Yeah, how high up?
This one's tough. I honestly, with your like reasoning behind the Goombas, and I always say this, like. It's really easy to get a 10 if you have like an iconic, like, good silhouette. And if they have anything, they have a solid freaking silhouette. So much so that I'm using it in this episode's artwork. Like, I could probably pick out the Goomba silhouettes, too.
You did, for sure. By the way, you for sure could.
Oh, damn it. I think I'm at a 10.
Me too. Rose, just come on.
I was not that high, but I was at a 9, but majority. I'll do 10.
Oh, damn.
Because listen, I was telling Caleb, when was I telling you that? I don't know when anything happens anymore, but my favorite, when I was a kid, the best part of that movie for me is when they finally make it into their freaking colors. They've got their jump boots on, they've got the hats on, and they stand up and their feet are touching just perfect to where they're making the M, just like on the front cover. And it's amazing. And I'm like, this is a movie about Mario! Ah! Like, just losing my mind. Like, it was perfect. So, yeah. 10. Making up for music.
All right, next up we got our own personal scores. So I'll take this one first. I want to hear from Rose last.
Oh, God.
I didn't realize how much nostalgia I would have for this movie. I did watch it when I was fairly young. I think I was around 15, 16 when I first saw it. And it's a movie that's stuck with me. There's a lot of stuff in this. It's just jam-packed full of Easter eggs that you can like pick out, and it's fun. It's a good time. The story's not nearly as bad as, like, I ripped this movie a new ass. I used to compare, like, oh, is it like Super Mario when in terms of like adaptations, like, is it as bad as Super Mario? In terms of like a 1-to-1 adaptation, like, yeah, it's not great.
No.
But for what it is, and it's supposed to be just a 90s live action adaptation of Mario, it's not horrible. It's a really fun time. I had a blast watching this with Rose on Sunday. It was fantastic. And then, yeah, and there's just something about watching these, like a movie like this on the big screen. Obviously, it was a virtual reality big screen, but whatever. It was fantastic. So, damn, my personal score, I think I'm going to be giving this probably an 80.
By the way, I am sad that I missed the virtual watch. I would still like to do that at some point anyway, just because, at least to watch some of it, just to see what it looks like up on the big screen. But yeah, I am the same. I really was like, I said it earlier, I was afraid I was going to watch this movie and all of the like joyous nostalgia I had for it was just going to leak out of my eyeballs. And I was going to hate this movie. And I not only don't hate this movie, like, I love this movie the same kind of way I did when I was a kid. Like, it is, I'm shocked at how well it held up to what I thought in my brain. But again, like, I knew what it was when I was a kid. Like, I saw it. I wasn't like disappointed that it wasn't what I played in the video games. I was just stoked to see Mario and Luigi up on the screen. It didn't even matter that King Koopa wasn't a freaking turtle or whatever he is. I was just, all of it was amazing to me. And it made me feel good to watch this movie again. And just remember all that, I guess. But I am going to give this movie a 95 is what I'm going to give it. I was going to give it a 93 and you almost made me go, because my gut reaction initially was 95 and then you said 83 and I was like, maybe mine's 90. And then the more I was talking about it just now, I'm like, I love this movie. It's definitely not a 100, but god dang it. It's right there.
All right, Rose, let's hear it.
For me, I do not have the same nostalgia as these two do towards this movie. Like you said, this was my first time watching this movie, and I will say it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I still had a very good time. The way that they portray all the Mario characters that they do is very interesting. Some definitely feel out of character. Probably a lot feel out of character, but that's okay. Just I don't know what else to say. I had a good time. Like the acting's pretty good. Special effects are pretty good. It's just like I said, I don't have the nostalgia as much as Caleb and DJ do. So I'm comparing this to what, even though I haven't seen it yet, the Super Mario Brothers movie that we are getting in the next couple weeks, because that actually is staying true to the source material. That's literally right out of a video game. Whereas this tries to be more gritty, more dark, definitely tries to stray off the path of the video games, which I appreciate. Like I'm always up for new adaptations of stuff that definitely goes in an entirely different direction. But I feel for me it misses more than it hits. So I'm going to go a 77.
Not bad. I really was bracing for the listen, I love you guys. I hope I don't lose any friends here. 62.
Dude, that's exactly what I thought. Like, he's going to be in, the mid-60s with this. So, you're actually a lot higher than I thought you were going to be, Rose.
Listen, Go ahead.
Sorry.
Please.
No, I actually have a question. Would you hate me if I actually had to leave right now because 20 minutes? So, are you...
You say 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Were you getting dressed as you were giving your final thoughts?
No, just is
that why your camera's been off?
No, it's fine. It's fine if I'm a little late. But just if it's all right with you guys.
You're a manager. Get there on time. What are you doing?
Like, Caleb, are you okay if we record the recommendations tomorrow? Will that be okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Sorry I talk so much, Rose.
No, you're fine, DJ. No, I'm sorry that I have to go to work. I have to freaking clean my wet rack, and it's an all-night process, so it's going to be fun.
But what do you have to do at work? Hey, got him.
I get it. That's funny. All right. Sorry, guys.
Fine, but I'm not telling you what it scored.
Okay.
You have to listen to this episode.
Yep.
Okay, I will. I will.
Spoiler alert, he won't.
Bye. Wow, DJ, way to call me out. Thanks, man.
Hey, you gotta do Herbert before you leave.
So long. Is that good?
Yeah, that was good.
Were you getting tickled when you did that?
A little bit, apparently. All right, thanks, guys, for a great episode.
All right.
Goodbye, Rose. I love you.
I love you too.
Wow.
Man.
Oh, he's still what?
Yeah, he was still on clean feed for a second. All right. Well, now that Rose is gone, we can go through the scores for this. So starting off with story, not a super strong start. It's sitting at a 77. Writing averaged out to a 68.6.
Yikes.
Yeah, acting was a little bit higher, sitting at a 78.6. Character development, sitting at a 68.6, dropped down to the exact same level as writing. Going over to effects, it is sitting at an 87.6. Then music averaged out to a 6. Costumes was a very solid 10. And our personal score averaged out to an 85.
You're welcome, John. Johnny Legs.
So, with that, the final All Bros letter grade and Untrained Eye for Super Mario Bros. 1993 has come out to a B-.
Oh, that is way better than I thought it was going to be.
Dude, it barely got this B-.
Wait, so did we knock out Shazam, Thunder of the Gods, or whatever? Because wasn't that right at the bottom?
Fury of the Gods. Oh, so that was a B+.
Okay, yeah. But it was at the bottom of a B+, right?
Yeah, it was like, like, but our cutoff for a B- is 80%, right?
And what did we get?
We gave this an 80.08.
Wowzers! Wowzers! That's amazing. All right, listen, I've been meaning to say this to you. You got to say the movies that it came under first, the movies that beat it first, and then the movies that it beat second. Because the movies that it beat are going to make people so much madder than the, the movies that it beat, or that beat it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to pull up our C+ movies.
Hilarious.
Because it is our second to last C or B- movie.
Wait, so what came right before it? Was there something that got an 80 exactly?
Yep. And that was...
Or wait, no. Don't say it. Don't say it yet.
Okay,
say the ones that came ahead of it. I'm sorry. I almost screwed it all up.
All right. So, Super Mario Bros. 1993, like I said, is sitting at an 80.08%. That puts it below Nomadland, which is sitting at an 80.18. It is below Good Boys, which is at an 80.25. It's below Top Gun, which is at an 80.37.
Top Gun, OG Top Gun? Or...
OG Top Gun.
Okay.
It is below Dune, which is at an 80.62.
Now, Dune Part 1 or old school Dune?
Dune Part 1.
Okay.
And then, finally, it is below the Banana Splits movie, which is at an 80.91.
That movie I still want to watch so bad.
Yeah, it's a good one. I have it on Vudu.
I need to watch that.
It's good. I think you'll like it a lot.
I mean, you saw that we must have traded this information at some point, but that they finally started like rolling on the AF movie.
Yeah. Dude, we're so excited.
I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah, so
all right,
and this one's just for shits and giggles. So the movie that's 1% above this one, like exactly, is Deadpool 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds would be happy with this. All right, man. This is the greatest part. I cannot wait. It's sad that it took so long to get here, but I'm so happy to ruin somebody's day.
Oh, this is going to ruin my day. So, going the opposite direction. I'm actually going to go a little further. I usually do 5 above, 5 below. Mm-hmm. But there's no way I can't do further down the list.
Please.
All right. So, going the opposite direction, it is above Dear Evan Hansen, which is sitting at a very solid 80. And that is the bottom of our B- list. Everything from here on is going to be C+. So, it is also above Yes Day, which is on a 79.81. That one's on Netflix. It's a Jennifer Garner movie.
Oh my God, is that like a Make-A-Wish movie? Like, you're gonna die, so this is your yes day.
No, it's a way to get her kids to behave.
That's way less. That's way less stakes.
Yeah. Let's see. It is above The Croods: A New Age, which is a 79.68.
Nick Cage will understand.
It is above the remake of Aladdin, which is at a 79.62.
That tracks. Here it comes.
It is above Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah!
Which is at a 79.58.
Listen, this doesn't count. Brucker is the worst, or whatever his dumb name is. He can't... Listen, I'm sorry. You think I'm a horror movie expert. Well, then why are you grading good movies? Okay? Horror movies are trash. And you're trash, and you graded something terribly. Brucker, I hate you. I hate everything about you. I would love to be on your podcast to talk about the last Halloween movie.
And so, yeah, that one stings a lot. That one always stings anytime that one comes up.
Because it's wrong, done by a wrong person. He's going to be arrested one day. You know that, right? Like, one day he's going to go to jail, and then you're going to... It's fine. Then you can say, hey, he did all these atrocities, because they were atrocities, whatever he did. We can now regrade this movie. Brucker... I mean, listen, I'm not saying that he's a big fan of Kanye West, but I'm not saying he's not a big fan of Kanye West. Anyway.
All right, let's see. Now, one that's actually legitimate. It is above Mortal Kombat 2021.
Yep.
Which is sitting at a 79.49.
Wait, was I on that episode?
Yes, you were.
That I remember that movie looking cool and not being good.
Yeah, and so yeah, but and then the movie that's a full percentage below this one, is actually the remake of Pinocchio.
Never saw it. Heard it was terrible.
Yeah, you don't need to watch it. I'm trying to see if there's any that are like.
Devastating.
Oh, absolutely not. And I'm not seeing any. Like some big ones that are like standing out there. It's so these are all ones that's above. It's like Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny.
I mean, it wasn't a good movie. I love Tenacious D, but
let's see, Venom 2.
That was the one I fell asleep during. It was Venom 2 wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. What I remember of it anyway.
Yeah. Wonder Woman 1984.
I will never watch that movie. Thank you though.
The first Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
That one makes me feel weird.
It makes us feel weird too. So let's see, Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints, I feel like, is one of those movies that like is for sure better in your mind than it is in real life. Like, no one's rewatching that movie now going, yep, I feel the exact same way I did when I was a child and watched it.
Yeah. So yeah, those are like the big ones that I would say stand out to me. Going above, nothing too significant.
Wild.
I mean, we have it's just kind of obvious ones. I'm trying to see if there's like any that are like not. Yeah, I think I agree with most of these. Like, I feel like this has a decent home where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am very glad that it cracked into the B, but I really expected it to be mid to low C. Like, it was going to pain me, but I understood. I came to this show knowing that it's fate, but the fact that we got it to a B really makes me feel good.
Dude, this is why I love our system. It's freaking perfect.
And by the way,
not to toot our own horn or anything, but
I like to say we came about this one honestly. There might have been a movie called Lovebirds that I may have been a little too excited that Kumail was in, Kumail Nanjiani, and may have been not 100% sure that I was like ruining a a grading system by rating everything in the 90s and 100. But this one, I have learned my lesson. I've come here to do a good job, and I think we did.
Yeah. So we've, like, as of right now, we have scored 222 movies.
That is a lot of damn movies.
Yeah. And let's see where this ranks. So out of those 222, this ranked at number 155.
Oh my God. What? Wait a minute.
So okay, so our A's, our A movies. We only have 4 A movies. We have a decent amount of A- movies. I think our biggest category is B+. Then we have a shit ton of B's, a lot of B-. C+ are decent. We only have we don't have very many C movies. Like, let's see. Yeah, we only have 15 C movies.
Excuse me.
We have 10 C- movies, 4 D+, 2 D, 1 D-, and unfortunately 2 D-, and one of those D- is that indie movie that we ripped apart. And then we have
what do you mean? It was great.
Yeah, and then we have 2 Fs.
What are the 2 Fs?
Food Fight.
I disagree, but go ahead.
Dude, have you seen that movie?
It's a waking nightmare, and I think it should be treated as such, and it does not deserve an F. Okay? Listen, you can. I haven't even seen the entirety of Food Fight, and let me tell you something. There is nobody that hasn't seen... Food Fight is like the Room of animated movies. Like, you can't... It laps back around to like higher on the list. It is technically an F. It does. You're wrong. You're wrong.
You are out of your freaking mind.
You're going to tell me that is not Room levels of insanity in that movie.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but that's all you need.
Is the movie itself absurd? Yes, but it doesn't back around to good.
Neither does The Room, but people still have lapped it back around to good, even though it's like bad good. Food Fight is animated. The Room. You will not sway me from this. What is your other F movie? Is it also Scott Pilgrim vs. the World?
No, it's We Can Be Heroes. It was that Netflix Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel.
Oh my God. I was not a Shark Boy and Lava Girl person, but I was sad for all of you that were. Because that was nonsense.
Dude, that was rough. And so Food Fight is sitting at a 48%. So it like failed hard. And We Can Be Heroes like got by the skin of its teeth. Like it's barely not a D-.
I'm going to be watching Food Fight in its entirety, and I'm going to start my own movie podcast where too. You're wrong. It's going to be called Caleb and Rose Are Not Right, the podcast where I watch Food Fight every episode. We go over the finer points of Food Fight.
Yeah, so like all of our our D+ to F movies, we only have like 10 in that category. So it's like, even though it seems like it's low, it's like not quite.
Well, it seems it's like right in the middle, because you said how many? 222 or something like that total?
Yeah, 222. So 10 of those are below a C-. And then the rest of them are, 212 are a C- and above.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I didn't want it to be so low, but I'll take it. I'll take not Food Fight.
Yeah. Well, let's see. All of our C movies. So our C-, or any movie with a C, so that's C-, C+, we have 56 of those total. Anything with a B, we have 115.
God dang it.
And then our A- and up, we have 41.
Excuse me.
Yeah. The system's fun. I like it a lot.
I agree.
I mean, like I said, it might be a little biased there, but...
I mean, kind of, but I mean, I don't know. I'm glad you still include the personal grade. And again, when you're being honest and not just loving Kumail Nanjiani being in a movie. I think you get the good.
Wow, which one was that? That
was the Lovebirds.
The Lovebirds?
And I'm pretty sure
that scored that high.
It scored way higher than it should have, because I was like, again, stoked on my boy Kumail becoming a movie star. Guys, did we have 4 grades on that one? Because it was me and Beth, and I think we graded separately. I'm holding.
Yeah, sorry. Just trying to find it. So it scored a B+.
Yeah, but did you separate my my grades from everybody else's? Because I bet you mine was like wildly higher than everybody else's.
I did not. But, I mean, I'm not hating where this is at.
No, I mean, listen.
Right now, this is like, with like all of the ones that we did after, it's above the Lego Movie 2. It's above Black Adam.
Perfect.
Spoiler alert, Captain Marvel, Sing 2.
I mean, listen, I thought, I don't know. I don't know if I would have felt the same way if my boy wasn't in it, but like, it was a good movie. Like, I remember talking about it, saying it was like a good, like, action, weird, like, comedy romance thing. So I don't know. Like, again, but I think that was like one of the first ones that we did with you guys.
I'm pretty sure that was the first.
And
check your shirt.
I'll look at the back. I just didn't. I don't know. I remember being nervous. I remember being like, I'm messing this up, because I'm like, I give it a 70, and you're like, we're actually doing this one out of 10. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. We haven't come up with like a good way to like explain how we do it. We're just like, just join us. We'll let you know.
Yeah. Pick and you'll find out.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
So I think Super Mario has a decent home where it's at.
I agree.
Like, there's nothing below it that I disagree with, and there's not very many things above it that I disagree with.
Well, I only have one disagreement with any of it, and that's, again, where Scott Pilgrim lies.
Yeah, Scott
clearly needs to be an A.
That's the forever struggle with us.
Truly, if you can get that guy on your show again, please let me be on it, because I would love to dissect what in the world would make him be like, you know what I love? I love just horror trash, but I hated this frickin' movie, clearly. A C. Get out of my face, Brucker.
Oh, man.
It's all jokes, but kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of hate you a little bit, but not really.
We get it. We absolutely get it. Well, alrighty then. So that concludes this week's breakdown of Super Mario Bros. 1993. DJ, would you like to tell everyone where they can find you and all that you do when you start doing it again?
Yeah, I mean, if you, wherever you're listening to a podcast, type in the Untrained Eye or Dragging the Table, and you will hear, if you listen to Dragging the Table, you'll just hear my dumb voice talking about nonsense, or you could listen to a good show that I do with my wife called the Untrained Eye, that again has been, we've been a little derelict in our duties this year, but I mean, the plan is to be back. Like, we're down, but not out. So, listen. It's it's a good show. Or at least I think it's good. So what about that? And yeah, I think that's it. Dragging the Table. The Untrained Eye. Be there or you're stupid.
Hell yeah. And we will be posting everything that DJ does in the episode description. And we will be seeing you again, hopefully, in a couple weeks to talk about the other Super Mario movie.
I am excited. Like, I know we kind of got down on it a little bit about, like, you know, who should be voicing what, but I do have high hopes for that movie, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So you guys can look forward to that in a couple weeks, and then next week we will be talking about Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Vic's gonna be there. Whoa! Wow! Wee wow! Can't wait
if
to hear
I can
you,
talk
Vic.
him into it, I'll try. I'll definitely try.
Hey, listen, Vic, you won't do it, Vic. I knew you wouldn't. Caleb said he could beat you up, and now I kind of believe it. Unless you do the show.
All right. Well, with that, we will catch you guys next week. I'm Caleb, for my co-host that abandoned us, Rose. This has been the All Bros Podcast, and deuces.
Love you. Bye.